Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we're here for the season finale of the RSR Cup Series. As we have 4 drivers at a shot with a championship here at the Homestead Miami Speedway here at the RSR Cup Series. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Let's give a special shout out to all our sponsors who helped make it happen here at the Evolution Racing League. First, we want to give a shout out to ORR Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. You can go check them out, their website at www.orrnissancentral.com. Next, we have Sheffield Graphics, the leading designer in sim racing paint schemes and liveries. It was founded by a Navy veteran, and a portion of every paint goes to the Military Foundation Folds of Honor. It's a great nonprofit organization who gives sponsorship to the families of fallen soldiers and disabled veterans. Make sure to go check them out on Facebook under Sheffield Graphics. Next, we want to give a shout out to ButtKicker. You can head on over to ButtKicker.com and you can use our promo code FreakyFast20 to get 20% off of any purchase there at ButtKicker.com. And actually, the champion here tonight, as along with the champion earlier tonight from David Edwards, they'll be receiving a ButtKicker Gamer 2, so you can go there and purchase yourself one of these ButtKicker Gamer 2s that these drivers are winning here tonight. Also, want to give a we want to give a shout out to McConey's Setup Shop. There we go. The official setup shop of the Richmond Raceway Esports team. You can head on over to McConey'sSetupShop.com today, where you can get your setups, coaching, and many other things there, as we have a giveaway going on with them right now. We'll put in the chat. But remember, you can also use our promo code FFB10 to get 10% off of any setup purchase there at the McConey Setup Shop. So again, thank you to all the sponsors who helped make it happen here tonight. But we need to get talking to our final 4 drivers. As I'm Zach Hall up in the booth, we have Brandon Colley alongside me and Robert Moyer Jr. in the production box. We're going to go ahead and move on to our final 4 contendees here for tonight for the championship. And that's going to be, first up, the driver in the number 59 machine from Slide Job Racing. That is Travis Everett. He has 6 wins this season, 19 top 5s, 21 top 10s, 3 poles, and 475 laps led. And also your defending race winner here at Homestead. Let's talk to Travis Everett in the 59 machine. Hey, Travis, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir. We got you.
Well, Travis, man, you coming here tonight with the league leading 6 wins, also 4 of them in the playoffs, man. But what tonight is it going to take? Do you think that victory is going to be necessary?
Yeah, I truly believe it's probably going to take win number 7 to get it done here tonight.
Yeah, man, I tell you, that would be a lucky number 7. And also, you know, I brought up the 4 wins in the playoffs. You won 2 before this also. So it'd be the trifecta to end the season if you could pull that off, man. You know, what are some of the biggest things in your mind coming into this race here at Homestead? And really, what's the line looking like?
Biggest thing is just hoping there's no carnage to really affect any of us. That's the last thing I want to see is one of the 4 get taken out and it come down to just 3 or 2, or somebody just drive off with it, 3 people out. Whoever gets it out the 4 of us, I feel like they truly want to go out there and earn it and race head to head for it. I think the low line actually is going to be the way to go here, especially if you want to save tires and managing gas. That first stage is going to be cutting it close on that. Get down low and you can shave a whole lot off this racetrack by running down there.
Well, man, you're looking good in practice right now, top of the board. We'll see what you can do in qualifying, my friend. Here is got about 9 minutes before we head off into that qualifying session. We want to wish you the best of luck for tonight's race here, man. And we'll be watching that 59 all night long. Congrats to you on making it here. Hopefully we'll talk to you maybe at the end of each of these stages, and hopefully at the end as the champion, buddy.
Appreciate it. Hope y'all enjoy the show. I think y'all are for a hell of a battle.
Travis, you have a great race, buddy. All right, that was the 59, Travis Everett. Now we'll move on to his teammate from Slide Job Racing, Curtis Preston, in the number 29. He has 4 wins this season, 15 top 5s, 20 top 10s, 571 laps led, 3 playoff wins, 3 poles, and an average finish of 9.6. This man is coming in here on a big momentum streak. Let's hear from Curtis Preston in the 29 machine. Hey, Curtis, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yeah, how you doing, Zach?
Doing good, Curtis, man. Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. We're looking at some of your stats here coming in tonight, man. Some great stats to go along with yourself here. You know, really looking back, you got that win early in the season at Auto Club. And then really the rest of the regular season, didn't play out for you probably the way you want to. You know, we talked about how you tried different things, tried to find speed in your competition, then had to go back to the basics. And in the playoffs, man, 3 wins there. It's been kind of back to the basics for you after winning the championship last season. Is it going to take a win tonight? You know, we talked to your teammate about that. He thinks it will, and that's what we're thinking up in the booth. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's what it took last year. It'll be the same thing again this year. You're gonna have to come out here and win it. I expect to see all 4 of us up here in the front near the end for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think all 4 of y'all are very prepared entering tonight, Curtis. You know, talk about that preparation. What was it like building up through this week?
It wasn't very good for us at the beginning of the week. We struggled here. I don't know, the first 2 or 3 tests we did, but got better middle of the week. And there, Saturday we tested Saturday night, and we found what we needed. We were missing the apex of the corner. We were trying to apex the corner too early, burning the right front off the car. Made some adjustments to a few things and got it better. Feel pretty good about it. I think the long run pace and old Black Betty's going to be pretty good tonight.
Well, man, it's going to be fun to watch all night long. You know, you got your 2 other teammates there along with you, and Ryan Bean. It's going to be one heck of a competition between you 4 to see who can come out on top for this championship, buddy. You're the defending champ, so they're going to be gunning for you, man. Congrats to you on making it to the top 4 here to try to repeat again. Hopefully, we're talking to you at the end, man. Best of luck to you, though, and hopefully we'll talk to you, though, as a champion.
I appreciate it, guys. You guys enjoy the race, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, that was Curtis Preston in the 29 machine, one of your contenders here. Let's move on to Ryan Bean in the 25 as he's coming in here tonight, 3rd in the standings, and 3rd of the drivers that make it into the top 4. Hey, Ryan, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Hey, man, well, I tell you what, you know, some great racing through these playoffs to get yourself into the top 4, especially last week at Dover to push yourself into this round of 4, man. You know, had a great season for yourself. 3 wins, 7 top 5s, 12 top 10s, but hasn't had a win in the playoffs, man. It's all the way back to Watkins Glen. What's it going to take tonight? Because we think it's going to take a win. Are you going to have to get back into victory lane?
That's the plan. You know, it's no different than any other night. Yeah, we're fighting for a championship, but winning the race is just as good. And yeah, I know playoffs haven't been very strong for me, but I'd like to think I've been up there every week. Just haven't had the luck go my way a little bit. So we're gonna need a little bit of that tonight. And but I think we got good speed, so it should be fun.
Yeah, definitely some good speed there. You know, you bring that up. You got 2 poles this season. Do you think it's going to be crucial here in qualifying to get a good starting position up front? And also, we've seen strategy with stages throughout this season, you know, where guys save a set of tires. You know, what's the strategy going to be like? You think it's going to be kind of all over the place with guys doing different things, or do you think a lot of guys are going to stick to the same thing?
I think you know, fuel is gonna be really close in that first stage, so it's gonna be if you can save that, it's gonna be worth it. But it's gonna be very hard to do. But I think the tire strategy is pretty. I think it's pretty set in stone for pretty much everybody. But that last stage is where strategy is gonna come into play because we're gonna have to do 2 stops no matter what if it goes green. So I think it's gonna get pretty crazy in the 3rd stage. But I think 1st, 2nd stage will be pretty cut and dry between everybody.
Oh, man, it's going to be fun to watch you 4 do battle along with the other competitors out there on track. It's been a special season, man. Congrats on making it to the Final 4, Ryan. You got 3 strong teammates that you got to go out there and beat, and it's no easy feat. But I tell you what, that 25 has been fast, man, so we'll see if you can put that thing out front here tonight and go ahead and get yourself in victory lane and get that championship, buddy. So hopefully, by the end of this thing, we're talking to you. Have the best of luck for you, man, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right, everybody. That was Ryan Bean in the 25 machine as he was able to come in here tonight with a chance for a championship. Now we'll move on to another driver from Slide Job Racing, GT Azar in the number 14 machine. He comes in here tonight with 3 wins, 19 top 5s, 22 top 10s, 3 poles, 335 laps led, but 0 wins in the playoffs, but also the best average finish, I believe, of anybody in the series. So we'll have to hear from Mr. Consistency himself, GT. Hey, GT, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Well, man, you know, they say they saved the best for last, buddy. I tell you what, you are looking like you're going to have to get yourself your first win of the playoffs here tonight, man, because I tell you what, 3 strong competitors. I think the win is what it's going to take. How are you going to get yourself in victory lane tonight, GT?
Well, I'm not going to be so concerned with winning. I just got to finish ahead of them right now. But, you know, with the way they are, as much practice we put up, I think it's going to actually take a W to actually walk away with the trophy.
Yeah, that's the way we're looking at it up here too. You know, it's the way it played out last season. I wouldn't expect nothing less from you guys. The way the preparation was in. You know, we talked to your teammate Curtis about preparation. He said he was off a little bit. He felt like early in the week, but got better as the week went on. How was your preparation went?
I'd say we've stayed pretty consistent all practice sessions, and Curtis is exactly right. I mean, you know, he picked it up, and then Travis is just always good. So we fired off really well. I think we had a better car to them, and then, you know, as we more in practice, and just like I tell you guys every time we talk to you, I mean, we practice so much, you know, that we learn so much off of each other, and, you know, no way to learn stuff but to try to beat somebody that's better than you. So. And anytime any of us are struggling, we always say, just chill out. I mean, you know, during race time, as long as it stays green, you'll get it figured out and you'll be up there. And it usually works out that way.
Well, man, it's been fun to watch you guys all season battle. You know, you got your two teammates alongside you there, and then Ryan Bean. It's going to be a heck of a competition, I must say. And whoever comes out here on top ahead of each other in the standings here has definitely earned it, man. So congrats on getting yourself here to the Final Four. Hopefully we talk to you at some point during these stages and maybe as a champion at the end of this race, GT. Thank you very much, man, for putting a show on out for us, and best of luck to you here tonight.
Hey guys, I appreciate it. I really appreciate with everything that you do. I'm telling you, it's so cool to watch this race on the next day, especially when you finish good. You know, it ain't so cool to watch it when you get, you know, wrecked on lap 14. But we're not going to do that tonight. And I'm going to tell you what, just by practice, I think we are going to put on a good show for you boys, and it's going to be a nail biter, man. But that's it. Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much, GT. Good luck, man, and we'll catch you at the end of this thing. All right, guys, that was GT. He was very excited about that race start here, but let's introduce my commentator here alongside me tonight, Brandon Colley, as I introduced him earlier. But again, we had to do a quick chat here with our top four so they could get in before qualifying. Because look, perfect timing, guys. I'm not saying I'm a professional at this or nothing, but 10 seconds till qualifying is about to start. I end the interviews. That, I mean, how could I do any better, Brandon? I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, you mentioned being a professional, and Zach, I got to ask you something.
Yeah.
What do you call someone who's afraid of beef?
Oh, no. I don't know.
Coward.
I'm like, did I do something?
No.
Zach's in left field, guys.
Yeah, he's out of here. No, man, it's gonna be an exciting race here. Robert's lost to Coward. Beef.
I get it, but I was
Okay.
we were confused up here in the booth. Sorry, everybody. This was a joke that went over me and Robert's head, and if anybody else laughed at it out there, hey, we'll blame it on 30 weeks. That's what Robert said. Okay, 30 weeks, we gotta crack some joke that we're just like, huh?
Well,
Hey, save your best joke for last, Brandon.
that's right, man. It's gonna be a wild race here. We've got, stages at 35 and then 70, and they talked about not being able to make it or being close on the first stage. And second stage, you shouldn't have to worry about it too much, but timing and seeing if you can stretch it during that first stage is going to be pretty crucial. I imagine we're gonna see the at least the championship four here. They're not going to take a set during the first stage. I can't imagine that they'd want to give up any type of advantage they can have for the last stage, especially considering the fact that they're probably going to have to make it a two-stopper. They're going to have 4 sets in the pit, 60% fuel load, and I think my biggest key to the race is just to avoid any type of contact on your car. You need as clean a car as possible to get to the end of this race. Just especially with the way that these cup cars work, being so aero dependent, you cannot afford even the slightest wrinkle to hinder any of your speed.
I think you're exactly right about that, Brandon. You cannot get damaged. It's going to end your night pretty much. As right now we see the first couple times trickling in here. Looks like top of the board is going to be Hunter Hayward in the 48 non-playoff contender there. As you see Bean so far at the top of those guys, puts himself fourth above Travis Everett. Curtis Preston on his first lap is 10th. Now Massetti slides himself up to the top there. Nolan Potter, times are clicking in here quickly as the times click off.
I'm sitting here watching GT as he's making his lap, going to be coming across the line now. And see where he slots himself into the board. Oh, no, there it goes. 7th on the board for GT, 32.7. Travis Everett now to the top with a flying lap, couple hundreds quicker, 300s quicker. for Travis over Trevor Massetti. Looks like Travis Everett. He's coming out swinging.
Yeah, he's coming out swinging, that's for sure. And we got our poll out in the chat. Make sure if you haven't done that yet, enter that poll. Let us know who you think is going to be bringing home that championship. I know I entered into it, so be interesting to see who did that. So, and also we cannot forget about most improved driver. We got that going on this week too. So, a lot of cool things here. And at the man, it's just I gotta commend the Evolution Race League for all the cool things they do here. You got great rewards to go along with with this season. Like you got the 17th driver in position in points. We'll take him a ButtKicker Gamer 2 with $50 cash. The most improved driver gets a custom diecast of their iRacing paint scheme. That is so cool to see. And then the champion's going to bring home $375 in a gift card to sim racing equipment. And I tell you what, that is a substantial sim racing equipment right there. Like $375, you can get some pretty good stuff with that. Button box, ButtKicker Gamer 2, and $50 cash. So man, I'm telling you, this is a big championship here. First is going to mean a lot for these guys.
Yeah, it's a lot more than most leagues will have. Some leagues will pay out something, not too much, but just a little bit something extra. In some leagues, it's just it's bragging rights, man. You're the champion. But here in the RSR Cup Series, they've really upped the ante, and they're shelling out quite a bit for our champion here tonight. Really cool to see. And like Zach said, you can get some pretty decent upgrades for yourself in sim rig equipment with 200 some odd dollars. I mean, just thinking about it, you can get yourself some new pedals. If you've got a nice fancy Manatech wheel, you can get yourself a new rim for that. There's a lot you can buy with that, and I mean, especially just the bragging rights alone. Aside from that, I know Curtis Preston wanting to go back to back. That's a huge achievement to go back to back and claim that you're a two-time back-to-back champion. And somebody like GT. I think seemingly, GT is got to be my pick as the favorite to come out and win this thing. He's just kind of been the underdog out of these four, I think, and maybe not even the four, but out of the three slide drop teammates, he kind of had the most down season right until the playoffs started. He just turned it up a notch and finally got that first win, and then just kind of hasn't looked back since then and has been on fire.
Yeah, I definitely look there. I think I gotta say Ryan Bean is definitely, I would say, the underdog in this situation. If Ryan Bean goes out here and wins tonight, that is going to be some story, I gotta say, for a champ. I mean, he's had a fantastic season nonetheless, but man, he skirted by in a few of those rounds, and that's what it's about to get to this Final Four. You got to just get by the hair of your teeth, and that's how you do it. But I think the man starting up front, who's your Sheffield Graphics pole winner, I think that's my favorite here tonight. Travis Everett starting up front in that pole position. Second's going to go to that 88 of Trevor Massetti. Third's going to go to Nolan Potter in the 34. Fourth's going to be the 48 of Hunter Hayward. Fifth's going to be your playoff 4 contender there, Ryan Bean. Sixth's going to be Harold Watkins. Seventh is going to be GT. Alongside him will be Curtis, his teammate. Those two contending for the championship here tonight. Ninth's going to go to Bot Fitzpatrick. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be James Catrone.
Stephen Baldwin's going to be in the 11th position. Zach Schrittenthal 12th. Nathan Campbell 13th. Kevin Ruff 14th. Craig Burns 15th. Chad Biesinger 16th. Dustin Stallings 17th. Ryan Azell 18th. Anthony Ludi 19th. And Andrew Little in the 20th position.
And 21st is going to be Brock Potter. 22nd, Anthony Gunez. 23rd is going to be Kevin Sabeldeal. 24th, Rusty Modesty. 25th, Kevin Dowd. And rounding out your field in the 26th position is David Hall, as that's your starting grid here for tonight's final race here, brought to you by ORR Nissan Central at the Evolution Racing Leagues for the RSR Cup Series, man. Finale of the season, 30 weeks strong. We've been fighting for this, but let's hear from our Sheffield Graphics pole setter, Travis Everett, about that pole lap, because this man is on rails. He's already in the weight room waiting for me. That's how fast he is. Let's hear from Travis.
Hey, Travis, Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, we got you, bud.
Well, man, congratulations on getting the Sheffield Graphics Pole Award here for the championship race at Homestead. You got a great start position here as you're racing for this championship. What do you think you need to do during this race, and especially during this first stage as close as is on fuel, to keep yourself up there and have the best chance of winning this thing?
Well, the good thing about it is we kind of throw the stage points out the window tonight. Going to be fuel saving mode here. it's going to be close. Like I said in other interview, making it to the end of the first stage here. So that's first and foremost. Don't really care where we finish that first stage. Like to stay up front, but as long as we save the fuel, I think we'll be all right.
All right, bud. Let you get ready to start this thing. Wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you can keep that thing nice and clean. And we'll talk to you maybe some of these stages, and especially at the end of this thing.
Appreciate it. Y'all enjoy it.
All right, that was your Sheffield Graphics pole setter, Travis Everett. Let's hear from this man as we're getting ready to go green. Season finale, pace car is in. Final time, green flag in the air. What a start there for Everett. He pulls ahead here as we go down the straightaway, being able to slide himself up into third. Same for Irizarry up to fifth. They were able to take that position. Nolan Potter not making the grid there. He starts from pit road. Now here comes Hunter Hayward 3 wide with the 88. Great racing there here in the last first lap.
Travis Everett now sliding up to the top side, allowing Ryan Bean to get to the inside here on the bottom lane. Hunter Hayward making the charge to try to follow Ryan Bean through. Looked like on that initial start, the outside lane did not quite get going. Curtis Preston getting bogged down a little bit, falling back to now the 9th position.
Yeah, you're seeing, I think what you're seeing here too, Everett already giving up the lead to Bean. This is fuel saving. Bean was the driver who talked about, it's going to take fuel saving to get this first stage. Ooh, Hayward almost had a big moment. He almost wrecked there on the outside of Everett, and that's something you don't want to see.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely disastrous. 2 laps in, and Travis Everett getting collected. An unfortunate mistake there, but great driving for Hayward to not overcorrect at all. A little bit of a bobble, but keep it going. And, Travis not putting up much of a fight, like you said, just fuel saving mode here. Ryan Bean now leading the way, going to be burning quite a bit of fuel, cutting the hole in the air for the rest of the drivers behind him.
Yeah, that's the big question here is, who's saving the most? I think Everett, he sounded like he was very worried about it. At least in that interview from you there, Brandon. He sounded like he's like, this stage is going to be interesting just because of the fuel saving issue here. Now, Bean is, is he throwing the fuel saving out the window and saying, I'm just going to go as fast as I can and pit, and try to get back on the lead lap? I don't know if that's the way to go, Brandon. I think you need to save the fuel because you will go a lap down if you pit.
Yeah, and that's the biggest concern. Granted, if you don't take tires, you're still going to be using essentially the same amount of time on pit road. It's going to be slightly quicker, but not enough to keep you from going a lap down. What would save you is if you're the only car that has to pit and you can get the lucky dog for the stage caution. But the thing is, short pitting like that, you're going to be even farther behind for the second stage and you're going to have to pit again. You need to go out here and save enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage because you should be able to make it to the end of the second stage with the caution laps during that second stage to start it and not have to worry too much about it. Then it's just setting up for the long 80 laps at the end of this thing. Or 80 laps, I have to check my math on that. Yeah, 80 laps. Yeah. So you're going to have to try to set up at that point for that final stage. It's so crucial here to save the fuel here and not have to make a pit stop early. It can make or break your entire race just by if it's off by a lap.
No, you're exactly right, and I think you're seeing some interesting moves here. Hunter Hayward, he goes out here and takes the lead from Ryan Bean. I think Ryan Bean immediately said, "Thank you, Hunter. I would love to have the draft from that 48. Give that to me so I can save fuel." And you can see everybody's riding in a line, and I don't know if Hunter Hayward hasn't played all this out in his mind because he doesn't have as much going on in this race. He's just going out here to win. Probably didn't play out the fuel mileage too much in his head. Don't know if his teammates have the information for him either because he's out here running and pacing the field. That is going to put him in a bad spot to make it to the end of those things.
Yeah, and like you said, Hunter Hayward not in the playoff hunt here, not in contention for the championship, just going for a win and going out here and just leading laps, putting down quick times, and it's just going to kind of let the race, play out as it does and not putting too much concern into fuel. If he makes it, he makes it. If he has to pit, he's going to pit. And he may have decided, you know what, I'm not that good at fuel saving. He might be aware of, how close it is. He's not that good at fuel saving. I'm just going to go out here and run it out, knowing that I'm going to have to pit anyway and just see what happens.
Yeah, when you bring it up, we've seen major issues with the 48 with fuel saving throughout the season. So he's caught himself out there before. by trying to go for a stage win, by trying to save a little bit extra fuel and running out, not getting back to his pit box. So that's took him out of contention a few races. I think that's really what took him out of contention. Really going to the next round by pointing himself, and that's really what hurt him.
And that's something everybody else is going to have to consider, is that not only do you have to make it to the stage at 35, you're probably going to have to go at least one extra lap back around before you can hit. So you've got to have, really, you've got to think you have to have 36 laps that you can make it, not just 35.
Look at this, Everett. He's going to give the position to his teammate of GT there. That's going to slot GT up to third now from his fifth starting position there, and or seventh starting position, sorry. And man, great start for him and Bean, as those two were able to overtake Everett here early in the going. Right now, Curtis Preston, he's sliding into about seventh at the moment. I think though Everett though and Preston, they're probably saving more, it seems like, so far.
It seems like it, and just everybody at the front being super courteous, and just like, hey, if you're a little bit faster, I'm pulling out of the way, letting you go, slotting right back in line. It's not until about the 10th position. Guys are really racing side by side hard. You got Dustin Stallings and Craig Burns that have been side by side for a couple laps now. Looks like Stallings going to be able to finally make that pass over the 12. And Stallings really the only driver that I'm seeing up here toward the front that is trying out that high lane.
Yeah, Stallings, I tell you, he's had some really good runs at mile and a halves, and to see him move up that fast, not that surprising, man. He's a very, very strong contender, I tell you that much.
Looking even farther back, the field's kind of gotten spread out just a little bit. Saw some smoke hovering over the infield there. I think somebody got a little bit out of shape. No caution, obviously. They got it back together. And I've got to think that might have been the 38 of Catrone. Catrone a good ways back from the rest of the field.
Yeah, it does look like Catrone there in that 38 machine. I wonder if is he saving some fuel too more? I mean, he's dropped back pretty far. Doesn't look no damage. Ooh, very close to the wall for him there. But don't like too much damage if there is any on that car. So right now, riding back here in the 23rd position, about a couple seconds behind Ryan Ezel in that 5 machine. So right now, Catrone's slotting himself back here. But up front, everything's still kind of strung out as Stallings again. He's the one going up trying to make moves up on that top side. I don't know if he's burned his stuff up now as Craig Burns is coming back to his inside here, as this is the battle for ninth.
And I think, Travis Everett talked about it. It seems like the inside, right on the bottom, that's going to be the place to be. We saw it in the ARCA series broadcast. If you can manage your tires and just be really patient, the bottom will come to you. And it seems like the top side, it's really fast on fresh tires on the short run, but it seems to chew up the tires as the run goes on. And not seeing too many guys really wiggle running up there. The car seems really stable. It's just the difference, how wide the corner is. The run's great off, but it doesn't seem like it's good enough to overcome how, little distance they have running the bottom.
Yeah, and I think the top, it just eats the tires up, man. It is nice for a few laps. It can feel great at some points. But if you go up there and you commit to it too hard and you drive the car really hard, it's easy to overdrive the car personally on the outside line than it is the bottom. The bottom kind of keeps you from wanting to overdrive the car, where the outside line kind of, you have to charge it a little bit more and kind of find the limit there, where I've just always thought that outside line, it's just been a tire killer.
Yeah, you almost have to drive the outside like you would the inside. I mean, you have to give up a little bit more than you'd think you do on the entry to get that great exit speed that you want to use by running the high side. And a lot of times you'll see guys that just sail it into the top side, slow it down in the center, and then try to get a really good run out. And that's what ends up killing your tires more often than, just the track surface or maybe not enough rubber being up there. It looks like Stallings made a good adjustment now. He's able to start gapping Craig Burns here. Kevin Ruff now working over the 12, going to be able to make that pass, kind of doing the same thing that Stallings is doing, but Stallings has now kind of gone to the middle lane.
Yeah, some different lines being used, that's for sure. Short draw there in the 2. He's about in that middle lane there. Here comes Ruff with a run. But right now, our top 8 kind of broke away, though. All 8 of these guys right on the bottom, all in the line. And from what I'm seeing, I think it's definitely a fuel-saving train. Bob Hayward, he's he's got to notice at some point and start to worry about this.
Well, it's going to be one of those things. Fuel saving, it's something you have to start doing pretty well in advance. I mean, if you're late into a run and realize, man, I'm not going to make it, if you try to start saving then, you're probably still not going to make it. I mean, it's something you have to work at for a pretty long time during a run to make sure you can get that extra lap or two that you're going to need.
Very easy. And also we got to think these guys are driving, with real life race car drivers. They got crew chiefs and strategists out there doing the strategy for them while they're driving. Not many drivers, if any, out here. Nobody I see with a spotter crew chief out here. I mean, you might be getting some help from outside help that someone else is watching, but you gotta do this stuff on the fly, man. It gets tough. And back here now, Curtis Bryson, I think he makes the pass there for position on Trevor Massetti. That's gonna put him up in the fifth. So it's gonna be Hunter Hayward, Ryan B, GT Rosario, Travis Everett, Curtis Preston. So your second through fifth there is your championship four.
And to just kind of illustrate exactly how difficult it can be, I mean, if there's anybody out there watching that does math like I do, and that's really, really bad, now imagine trying to do that while you're also trying to not wreck a race car. I mean, it's difficult to crunch numbers, like decimal point numbers per lap, to try to figure out your fuel and add all that together. On top of trying to turn as fast a lap and smooth a lap as you can. I mean, it's definitely not easy, and that's one of the things with sim racing, man. A lot of times you're not only your driver, your crew chief, and in some cases your spotter as well. I mean, you have one on iRacing, but a lot of times it's not the most accurate thing, and you've kind of got to take matters in your own hands with that as well. It gets really difficult, and you can't fault somebody for missing a strategy when you have to do it by yourself, because there's a lot of things you just can't think of in the moment, or sometimes you just make those little mistakes because you've got so much on your plate.
And right now, 20 laps in the books, right here on lap 21. Because what we use out here, to anybody at home who doesn't, really know, we don't have fuel gauges in the race car. Okay, so you can't tell by a gauge in the race car, but we do have something in iRacing called the black box, and the black box is a box to the right side of our screen, or you can move it really wherever you want it. But it's usually located there, and it can tell you your gallons and estimated laps. And the estimated laps, though, they can be off. They are not exact. It doesn't want to give you an exact, precise number with the estimated laps. It's supposed to be somewhat of a guesstimate, of how far you can go, and usually it's about 1 to 2 laps to the good looking for yourself, and then all of a sudden you could be 1 to 2 laps to the negative. It swings very far with that estimate, so I'm worried if Hunter Hayward is he relying on that, and that's what's going to sway his position here to think, oh, I can make it looking at my estimated laps right now in my relative box, but in all reality, he is not going to make it with the amount of fuel he's burning each lap.
Well, I know for a fact, and got some experience with it, that Hunter Hayward, you never would be able to tell by his car number, but he runs the Chad Knaus spotter pack. And Chad Knaus likes to give you fuel numbers that are a lot of times not exactly accurate on how far you can go on fuel. So I think that might play into a factor as the strategies we've seen out of him as well. And that's not an uncommon thing. A lot of guys have different add-ons that change your spotter pack rather than the iRacing default, and it gives you a lot of extra information rather than just looking at your black box. Sometimes it's a vehicle cue where the voice in your head will tell you, hey, we've got roughly this amount of laps left, and a lot of guys go, that's their word. They know for a fact that's going to work with them, and they don't question it. But other guys, you're always double checking.
It's exactly right. A lot of add-ons and stuff. We gotta commend iRacing for doing all that stuff for us. Letting us bring add-ons like we can. Even the paint schemes like we can. Through trading paints, it's definitely a great ecosystem they got going on there. But man, it's starting to heat up there. Preston was putting a little pressure on his teammate of GT there, who's now putting a little more pressure on Everett, who's now putting a little pressure on Veed. It's kind of stacking up from there, and with Hayward, a little bit of a car length gap there most of the time. Of a lead.
And it's really reminiscent of what we saw in the ARC Series broadcast, a non-chase driver, a non-playoff driver out here leading our championship 4. And I think this is very much by design from the Championship 4 here, but GT going to the inside of Travis Everett, his teammate, trying to make that pass. It's going to slow him down just a little bit. Ryan Bean now closing in on Hunter Hayward by just a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Hayward, he moved up to the second group there to try it. I think that was a no-go. Ryan Bean about got there to the inside. I don't see him trying that again down here in one, as you see Everett able to fight off GT there, who's got his teammate Curtis. That's, you know, these teammates right here, they race each other very, very hard. But if they race each other too hard here, they're going to let Bean get away and drive away with the stage possibly.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for them, the stage, even if Ryan Bean goes out here and wins the stage, it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as they've got the track position, don't let them get too far out of their sight. They're still sitting in a pretty good spot, especially all being inside the top 5. So they can afford to kind of go, you know what, go out here, lead this thing, get the stage win, and just play for the long game, the big picture of getting this championship, giving yourself the best chance for later on in the race. Like we talked about, the key point at this point in the race is just making it to the end of the stage.
And man, it's still stacking up there. There's GT, got stuck behind Travis. Now Curtis going to the inside of GT. He's going to make the pass there as they fight for position here early in the go, and showing that, you know, we are teammates, but we're going to race each other hard here for position as we'll come out a complete lap 28. We need to get to lap 35 here for the stage. Ryan Bean's making a statement, though, in this stage here, Brandon. I'm telling you what, he's came out here prepared tonight, and he's showing that 25 is no slouch. There's a reason why he made it to the top 4.
Absolutely, and you look at the pace that he's got running second right now. Granted, everybody else is saving fuel. He's been able to hold on to second place, but you've also got to wonder, do these slide job racing teammates have a bit more in the tank, or is the pace off just because they've been trying to save? Or is Ryan Bean got something figured out that these guys just don't quite have figured out yet?
Very possible, very, very possible for sure. I mean, you know, I think Bean's got it figured out with the fuel. The biggest reason I say is because he knew it. He brought it up to us. He knew he had to save fuel here to make it to the end of the stage. He knew it was going to be close. And here comes Curtis Preston again. Oh, it's Bean. He makes the move up to the high line. I don't know if he was trying to, I think he was going to block Everett to try to, or he's just trying that as they go side by side maybe. But man, they lost a lot of time there to Hayward out front. That lets Everett pull back by though. Curtis, he's going to block the inside and cover off his teammate. Whew. Great racing though. Bean's going to go to the top again. I don't know about this, especially if you're close on fuel, Brandon. Why are you going to the top?
Well, this is definitely going to open up a sizable gap for Hayward. Now they're going to be side drafting each other as well, just slowing each other down even more. And I don't think the top is just quite where it's at. I think that's very much a short run lane. As the run goes on, I mean, they're just going to blow by him here on the inside.
Oh, close racing. Here's their top 4 right, I mean, all together in one spot on the racetrack. Here's Bob Fitzpatrick. Also, can't forget about him in 6th there. Same with Massetti. These top 8 or top 7 have been nose to tail really the whole time as Hayward's pulled out a sizable gap. But does he have enough fuel? That's the question we all ask ourselves as Everett hangs on the 2nd. With Bean now looking to possibly the inside of Preston. It's going to come to push to shove, especially if this is how we come down to the end, man.
Yeah, you're going to have to put all types of pressure on whoever it happens to be in front of you. And if you're the guy in front, you've got to have just ice in your veins to not let it get to you. GT, though, big move to the inside of Ryan Bean.
This is shaping up for a classic finish tonight, guys. If our top 4 are this close on speed, it is just going to be one of those nights. Bean holding off Irizarry there. As we come in this time here to 2 to go in this stage. Does Hunter Hayward have enough fuel? Where guys is just a little bit too worried about fuel. Maybe the fuel was a little bit too much worried about. But here comes Irizarry again. Look at the inside of 25 down into 1. And here comes Curtis Preston. Look at the inside of Everett down here in 1. Side
you also got to look at it, Zach, that the lap time between these drivers' best lap and their their last lap, it's almost 2 seconds of fall off. That drop in pace is going to be a bit of passive fuel saving, so it can help them quite a bit. But is it going to be enough to make it to the end? That's the big question. We're going to find out here in a second.
defending champion Curtis Preston up to second. He has drove his way all the way from 8th to 2nd. I mean, I tell you what, you hear from Curtis talking about, struggling earlier in the week. Man, this guy's come back and has showed he has gotten some amazing pace as he's pulled away from his two teammates who are battling, and they'll be coming to actually we are on the white flag lap for the stage. So wow, Hunter Hayward is most likely going to be able to make it. Can he make it back for the caution lap? That's going to be the question here as we coming out of 4, looking for a caution here at any moment, as it looks like Preston will come home in 2nd, GT Azari 3rd, and Travis Everett 4th with Ryan Bean 5th. What a stage here in the opening portion of this race to show what kind of championship battle we're going to have.
Yeah, I mean, they've been in the top 5, every single one of them throughout the duration of this race. Well, I say the duration. After the green flag dropped and everybody kind of got set in their pace, they've been there making their way from their starting positions. I mean, Curtis Preston up 6 positions from the start of this race. Definitely the biggest mover of our championship 4. And Ryan Bean just kind of holding steady in 5th here.
And with that stage caution, these guys will be looking to come back around next time to get their pit stop. And this is the crazy question here, Brandon. What do you do on this pit strategy here? Do you come down, get tires here? I think it's pretty clear cut. You got to come down and get tires.
I'm not so sure. I think these guys are probably going to go for the strategy to win the race. They feel like it's going to take a win. You've got to give yourself the best advantage. Go with the strategy that's worked nearly every race this season. Don't take tires during the first stage.
Well, we'll see what they decide to do. Then we're going to talk with our stage 1 winner, Hunter Hayward. Sounds like he's still got power to his race car. I've been listening because I know a lot of guys are close on fuel. Some guys did run out. We'll see how it works out coming down here into the pits. Hunter Hayward will lead us down here. We'll see what the strategies are like. Also the other big thing here is just looking at it is if you don't take those tires, like you said there, bro, you can have an extra set still. I mean, that is always the big thing. If you get a caution at the right time, it still can work out for you.
It absolutely can, but we've been pretty clean and green through the first stage at least. And I mean, you don't ever want to put yourself in a position where you have to rely on a caution coming out, but it seems to work out every race. That the guys that save that extra set, it seems to happen for them, and they win that tire lottery and are able to put that to use and come out of it with a really good finish.
Well, looks like Hunter Hayward is able to win the race off of pit road. Let's bring on the 48 from Zab Motorsports himself to hear about that stage 1 win and what he has in plans for the rest of his race.
Hunter Hayward, Brandon up in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, man, it looked like you were charging the hardest out of really everybody in the top 10, and there was a lot of concern as to whether you guys could make it to the end on fuel. Exactly how close were you putting down that kind of pace?
0.05 of a gallon I made it into my stall. I didn't think I was going to make it. Thankfully, the pace car was slow enough for me to clutch enough and kill it for a little bit to save enough fuel. But, yeah, by the skin of my teeth, I got that.
Now, second question, did you finally get rid of that canal spotter pack that's telling you when you need to pit?
I don't know why you're such a big hater on it. I'm a big Jimmy fan. I can't get rid of canals in my ear, but, I'll listen to him on ovals. I may get rid of them during other races, but, yeah, I didn't listen to him this time when he told me to pit when I still had 2 more left in the stage, but he didn't know about the stage breaks in this race, so it's all good.
Well, man, it's been a good race so far. You're showing a lot of pace up here, and let you get ready to restart this thing and try to keep it up front and play spoiler for this championship 4, man. Try to keep that thing clean, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of stage 2 and maybe at the end of this thing.
I feel like Kyle Larson, leading championship 4, even though I'm not in the championship 4. But yeah, thank you guys. Hopefully you'll have a good finish.
All right, that was your stage winner, Hunter Hayward, as we're going to get ready to bring him back green flag racing. And good thing he didn't pay attention to that. He would have pitted.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see here. Pace car's in. Oh, he's off and away. As I didn't even notice, Everett got second off of pit road. I thought it was going to be Preston who beat him. But, man, what a start from Hayward there as he's able to do that with the pace car pulling off. And now slide into that first position as Everett's going to slide up to second. Now Irizarry comes here. The thing is, though, this stage is going to be a little bit less, and we got a wreck. So we're going to have a caution here early in stage 2.
See exactly what happened here. Looks like it might have been. Ooh.
Looks like Brock Potter in the 4 machine brought out our ORR Nissan Central caution. Here is he got loose entering turn 1. We'll go back on the Freaky fast replay. You'll see here. Just gonna lose that rear end there, side by side with Catrone. And man, tries to save that thing, but there's the 13 Aludi, and then here comes Dowd in the 98 machine, and that's gonna be a hard lick to the driver's side door of that thing, and some heavy damage on that 4 machine.
Yeah, it looked like some ARCA breaks out of at least one person, but could have been a lot worse, that's for sure. Especially that it happened a little bit farther up into the pack, and that's what's going to happen on fresh tires. I mean, you're carrying so much speed into these corners. Tires aren't up to temp, not optimal grip, and that transition with the progressive banking, it'll hurt you a ton.
And some heavy damage there on that 4 machine. As what a restart that was up front. You know, that hurt really Curtis Preston on anybody. He dropped from 3rd all the way back to that 4th position, losing that one spot to GT there. But if you're starting the inside, you usually think about it. You know, that's usually the preferred place, but I think Hayward caught him sleeping a little bit with that early start.
Yeah, I mean, normally on the restarts, the inside is where you want to be. Everybody's generally going to be about the same speed through the corner. So the inside, you're just going to pull. But how quickly Hunter Hayward fired off there on that restart. I mean, he was about 10 mile an hour quicker going into the corner than everybody else. And it seems like here, Curtis Preston's going to be in a lot better of a spot. He's going to be starting 4th on the outside. So he's going to be able to have the preferred lane for the fresh tires. For the short run, that high line just seems to come in on the short run, and then everybody starts to migrate back to the bottom. I imagine we're going to be able to see Curtis back up to at least the 3rd position. He may be able to get Travis Everett here on the restart. We'll just have to see exactly how the restart shakes out. Do they get back single file, or are they double wide going into the corner? That's going to be a pretty big tell of the tape as to, you know, what moves these guys are going to be making.
And sorry to everybody out there. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty trying to get ourselves back here. Our program's not working with us, but give us a few seconds as we try to get this all back in shape for all you fans at home with it all live, as these guys are still under pace laps here with Hunter Hayward out front, Travis Everett leading the way of the championship 4, and GT Rosario 3rd in that 2nd position for the championship. 4th is going to be Curtis Preston, and then 5th Ryan Bean. So your top 4 in the championship all right here in position.
And Trevor Massetti running back here in 6th. I mean, we talk about him seemingly every week. Has such great runs, but has not been able to really close out the races and get those race wins. I've been waiting for it, man, and I'm sure he's been waiting for it too. A lot of guys have. Just when the 88's going to find his way into victory lane, he might have a really good chance at it tonight. He's shown pretty decent speed, maybe just kind of hanging out behind these guys, not wanting to get too much into the mix. But as the race plays out here, strategies kind of evolve. He may start flourishing and finding his way to the front.
We're looking at right now these guys still pacing here. Thank you again for everybody tuning in here tonight, as it's been a spectacular start to stage 1. Hunter Hayward able to win that stage. We see Anthony Gaudio, a championship 4 guy, win the ARCA race. So could we see Hunter Hayward do the same here in this 48 machine? And then really it's just been a special night here. Last race of the season, 30 starts. We've been doing this for 8 months, ladies and gentlemen. It's been amazing to be a part of. But again, thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button, and also hit the subscribe and bell notification button to know when we go live each and every week here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. As man, we're going to open this back up here, Brandon. Going to be a lot shorter, much shorter of a stage here than we had before. These guys are going to be pushing hard, I think.
I think that's exactly right. And going back to what you just said with Anthony Gaudio winning the ARCA race and Hunter Hayward leading this one, you've got to think that it's a statement as well for Hunter Hayward, because just like Gaudio, his chances of racing for a championship ended in smoke at Richmond.
Very, very true there. Very, very true. As we'll get ready to go back, green flag racing. Pace cars in. Hayward off and away again. Good restart for him there as he's able to get the jump. He'll slot himself up to the lead, but Everett going to be fighting up top, trying to hold off his teammate GT Rosari down low. As look at Preston, he goes all the way to the top side, trying to get a big run here on this opening corner. We'll see if it works out for him. Ryan Bean trying to pull side by side.
Yeah, Hunter Hayward changing up his timing just a little bit. Travis Everett looked like he was incredibly ready for that restart, able to get a much better jump than last time. And Curtis Preston still on the high side, not quite able to clear GT just yet. Going to be getting a massive run here and have the tow from Travis Everett ahead of him. And we got another caution.
Oh, major wreck. Major wreck as, oh man, Zach Schrittenthal in the 2 is just destroyed there, as that's going to bring out our third caution of the night, brought to you by ORR Nissan Central. And man, oh man, I think that was contact between Campbell and Schrittenthal, and those two teammates go spin around. Ezel, David Hall, multiple drivers used up in that caution there. As would love to show you the replay, but we are having a few issues up here, ladies and gentlemen, that we cannot get fixed out, and our software is not working on it. So unfortunately, you will not be able to see that, but I can tell you it was a good bit of multiple cars there involved in that. Know your championship contenders, though.
Yeah, looking back at it, Zach, Schrittenthal on the inside of Campbell coming out of turn 4. Looked like Schrittenthal was coming out of the corner, just that normal sweep back up toward the wall on corner exit, right as Campbell was getting a bit loose and just caught the right rear of Schrittenthal and hard into the wall, and then just kind of everybody behind, not many places to go, pinballing all over the place.
Yeah, that's going to bring it early into the night for Zach Schrittenthal. He's going to bring that thing behind the wall as we pace here for a third caution of the night. Again, brought to you by ORR Nissan Central. And tonight's race is also brought to you by ORR Nissan Central, the championship finale race here at the RSR Cup Series. As it looks like Kevin Dow will get the lucky dog in the 98 machines. The guys let him by. Yeah, this stage here is getting shorter and shorter, Brandon. This is definitely going to make this more of a stage for pushing and seeing who has what in the short run.
Absolutely, and I think it didn't look like anybody, based on our timing, decided to not go with tires during that last pit stop. But I think had you not, anybody that decided not to, this is helping you out tremendously because you're not giving up much track position. We haven't gotten very many laps under green so far, and we're getting close to the end of this stage here. We've only got about 20 laps till the end of the stage, and I think it was a good gamble. I mean, we were really green, very, very clean during the first stage here, but the race has kind of flipped on its head now. In stage 2, a lot of guys making contact and just not quite getting a good handle on the cold tires, finding themselves in some problems but getting loose.
Well, stage 2 has took a turn for the wild side, ladies and gentlemen, as we've had carnage here for these drivers, Leighton and going. But Ryan Bean there still, you can see in the 25 there sitting. He's in the 4th position in the championship, but 5th in this race. These guys are all right on top of each other, guys. I mean, if anything happens, you know, one incident happens here. Also, you got to think about that. If one incident happens up front, we could be racing wrecked race cars for who could finish, you know, ahead of each other.
Yeah, I mean, something could happen, like, you know, just going into one. I mean, Hunter Hayward makes a mistake, gets loose, and could potentially, all 4 of our playoff drivers could potentially end up in an issue here. And then, like you said, they just got to try to patch it up the best that they can and just hope that they've got enough speed with their beat up car that they could finish ahead of any of the other 3 guys that they're racing. And that, I mean, that would make it incredibly entertaining to watch. It's just not, let alone on speed. I mean, it's just driving a beat up car. These guys plucking away for every single position they could get to try to win a championship here.
We are got the pace car lights out, so we'll get ready to go back green flag racing. I tell you what, though, the nerves for me are racking up because each time we get a caution like that, I think the tension builds more and more. You know, these guys want to be released and race for the championship, but they're getting kind of held back right now with these cautions. So they're, as a driver, you start to build up this tension like that, and it can turn into something bad where you get a little too over aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And from a driver's standpoint, I personally despise restarts because I tend to not be quite an aggressive driver, and that's where the most problem you're going to have. Or everybody's all bunched up. The guys decide to take it 3 wide to try to gain a bunch of spots. It's the most vulnerable you're at. You're just hoping everything gets single file and you can start to race.
Oh, look at this restart this time. Green flag's out. Hayward, though, tried to wait a little later. Everett timed it perfect. He's going to slot down in a second. What a job by him there to slide in there in between Preston and himself as they come out of 2 here. Hayward opening the gap in the 48.
Yeah, Everett leaving his teammate out to dry there. GT going to be falling back to the 5th position now. Not losing too many spots. And again, Curtis Preston to the high side on the short run with these fresh tires, trying to make something happen here. Might be getting a great run on his teammate. Travis Everett decides to close it off. Curtis Preston, though, goes to the inside of the 59, taking away that inside lane that Travis Everett seemed to really prefer. Ryan Bean trying to stick his nose in as well.
There it is, 2nd for Curtis Preston, ahead of his teammate Travis Everett. Ryan Bean there in the 3rd position in that championship battle as Hunter Hayward continues to lead. Look at this, though. Preston again up top. I think he knows that this is a short run tactic here. We'll see what he can produce here. It's going to be another great run from the top here of 3 and 4. He's closing in the gap on the 48.
Well, I mean, it's a short run tactic for what's going to be a short run to the end of stage 2 here. This may work out very well for Curtis Preston, just getting track position alone to go ahead and set up for the restart for that final 80 laps of this race.
Also got to think he's got clean air up there and the draft down the back straightaway with the big run. This is the way to go, man. He's doing it right. Up top, Curtis Preston selling in that 29 machine. See what Hunter Hayward has to do here on the front straightaway. I think it's going to be a big run from the 29.
Yeah,
Bean up there too.
Bean trying to make the move. Looks like Curtis Preston going to the inside of the 48 now. Going to get his nose in. Hunter Hayward sticks to the middle, not sweeping out quite as wide, not giving Curtis Preston enough room. And they're almost make contact between the 2 of them there, slowing up Curtis and Hunter Hayward, allowing everybody else to start catching up.
Very close racing up front here. Side drafts back and forth between these 2. Hard racing here early this stage. A little contact more between the 29 and the 48. And man, oh man, the 48's not giving up here. He's come to fight tonight.
He says, I know you guys are racing for a championship, but I'm racing for a win, and you're going to have to pass me. I know I've got speed. I am not just going to give it up to you easy. And that's allowed the rest of these guys to catch back up. Now Travis Everett side by side with Curtis Preston.
Down the back straightaway. Multiple car gap open by that 48. We'll see what they can do here to produce a run on him. The 29 goes back to the bottom here to get the run. I tell you what, Curtis Preston, he went to the workshop this week. He wants to be a defending race or defending series champion back-to-back series champion because man, he is. If he was struggling, then he's really picked it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And he said that in the first couple tests that they did, they were just kind of missing something a little bit off, but they seemed to have found something as the week went on, and they felt pretty good about their pace, and for good reason. I mean, all 3 of them up here inside the top 4. And have been kind of swapping back and forth. Who is really the best among them? Curtis Preston, the defending series champ, trying to go back out here and repeat, leading the charge for the playoff 4 at the moment.
Well, at the moment, he sees the back bumper of a 48, but he's also got the 59 all over his back bumper. My question is, did he burn his stuff up though? We see Curtis Preston in the first run. He's really safe. He was right back there. It was Curtis Preston, big wiggle off of 2. That's going to give GT the chance here to make a pass here on the scene try to take second in the championship standings. My thing is, did he burn his stuff up? Did he push harder than he did the first run? Is this going to change his balance? Because he was strong at the end of the last run, but man, he pushed so much harder this run to get up to that second spot, and we could see Hayward maybe have a little less trouble here as this run goes on.
And I think that's why we're seeing Curtis go back to the bottom and just content to ride in second right now, realizing, you know what, I've got a short window to really start using these tires and push them really hard before it's just going to start costing me pace later in the run. And he's kind of abandoned the high side now, waiting to see if maybe Hayward has burned up some of his stuff, trying to hold off that push that he had earlier.
Yeah, you know, there really hasn't been a crack in Hayward's weakness yet. He's been flawless so far, personally. He's had great pace as the runs continue on. He's had a few times where guys challenge him, and he's fought them hard to hold that position off. And he's making a statement saying, man, if I was in this Final Four, the championship would have had to go through me. So, man, I'm telling you, that's always a good statement that you can make when you're not a championship driver. Go out there, win the race, say, man, if I was in the championship, then you guys would have had to beat me. So, you know, it kind of gives you that one-up type of deal that, you know, you wouldn't have because you're not fighting for anything right now.
Yeah, it's a big confidence booster as well. I mean, it's a statement to the rest of the field, but also it's just a big boost in your own confidence, saying, you know what, my season didn't go as well as I wanted it to. Maybe had some bad luck, didn't quite make it, but had things been different, this just proves to myself that I have the pace to go out here and win a championship. I know that I can do it.
You know what? You know, just looking through it right now, it just kind of caught me off guard. Is just that last run. You know, I really thought Everett would have more long run pace. He seemed to really struggle as the run went on. He's showing some good pace here again, back to the back bumper of Curtis Preston, but just the pace I thought you'd have there with qualifying forward. It's not been there so far. As we're looking at Chad Basinger here in the 23. He's running that top side. You got Dustin Stolens, who's been running the top side earlier in this race with Rusty Mossy ahead of him. And Nolan Potter also in the 34. Nolan Potter, who started from pit road, he's had a fast car.
He's looked pretty stout, able to charge his way back up through the field after starting on pit road like you mentioned. Now going to be making the pass off Basinger in the 23 to move himself up to the 15th position. Excuse me, yeah, 15th I think. No, 13th. Oh, he's definitely. And just ahead of him, Rusty Modesty has been kind of plucking away, trying to get back into the top 10. Man, these guys, they've been battling really hard back here. Up in the top 10 or so, it's just been single file for a majority of this race. Although it looks like now they're side by side in the second position.
Yeah, Everett went to the bottom, kind of made the position through 1 and 2 as Curtis Preston went up to the top. And then Curtis Preston with the major run had to dive off the corner to get the position. Here comes Travis Everett down in front of his teammate Curtis Preston. It takes second over. Hey, Everett, I said, I was wondering what was up with the last run. Maybe he was saving more fuel than he thinks he needed. But, man, he's showing a little more pace this time. Maybe figured out something as this race going on. He's a guy that can pick up pace as the race goes on, I said.
Yeah, I think it was a lot to do with the fact that he saw the battle going on between his teammate and Hunter Hayward and said, you know what, guys, go ahead, just battle it up, be aggressive. I'm going to sit back here and wait, take care of my stuff, and then when I can sense that you guys are starting to lose just a little bit, that's when I'm going to turn it up. He's turning pretty quick lap times, a 10th quicker than Hunter Hayward ahead of him, and Curtis Preston, Hunter Hayward matching lap times virtually.
Great battles going on here. It's just a head game right now between the Final Four because they're all four in a line. It's been like this for 63 laps. This is why, you know, these are the Final Four. You know, we see this a lot of times where the Final Four going directly right near each other the whole race because they are just been the guys that had the most consistency throughout the whole season, and here they are, and they prepared the most also this race.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. When you talk about cream rising to the top, they are here for a very good reason, and they are showing it. I mean, ever since everything kind of got sorted out and they were able to find their position after qualifying, they haven't moved. I mean, they've all been inside the top 5 ever since, just kind of shuffling amongst each other for, you know, who's sitting where inside that top 5. But Hunter Hayward's been leading the way. They've just been trying to figure out, you know, yeah, I want to get to the lead, but more importantly, I need to find some speed over these 3 other guys that I'm racing, and that's pretty much what they've been doing all 65 their 66 laps so far.
Yeah, it's been a definitely cat and mouse type of game, learning from each other as they go. Battle for third. GT Azari, he says, Curtis, sorry, bud, you burned your stuff up. I'm going to have to go on by. He makes the pass clean there for that position, blocks his teammate down the front straightaway, and Curtis Preston is going to back out of that situation there, just take home that fourth position right now, try to hold it off for Ryan Bean. Maybe Curtis is going to realize, you know, man, that's not going to work. What I did there, that burns the stuff up.
Yeah, and it might have just been trying, you know, a bit, 1 lap, 2 laps too many, because it will definitely work on a short run, but you have to recognize the moment and exactly how far you can push those tires, but before you can't cool them back off again, and you're just going to hurt yourself later on in the run. Definitely going to be jotting that one down in the notebook, especially if we get close to the end of the race, and we have a similar type shootout toward the end.
Well, it's lap 67 here in the cards for these drivers. They're going to be coming by this time here to be 3 to go this next time by in the stage, trying to get a lap 70. Hunter Hayward out front, Travis Everett third, Travis Everett second, GT Azari third, Curtis Preston fourth, Ryan Bean fifth, and that's 4 of your championship contenders right there in the top 5. As you can see the yellow on the ticker. 3 to go on the stage. Hayward, though, under pressure now from Everett.
Everett 200ths quicker than Hayward, just ahead of him, but Irizarry a 10th quicker than his teammate and Hunter Hayward just ahead of him here. 14's coming alive as we're coming to the conclusion of stage 2 here. That was my pick to win this championship, and I feel like he is showing he's got some pretty decent speed as the run goes on here.
Oh man, this track's only going to change more and more to the more rubber we lay down, the more this track's going to change. You got to stay up to it. And GT, he's one that's staying up with it. He's getting faster and faster as this race continues on. 2 to go on the stage. Kevin Dowd in the 98. Oh man, he was directly in front of the leaders there. Hunter Hayward there making a basic maneuver to get back by him, and that's going to let Preston in the top in that 29 really get the big run on the rest of these guys back here.
Yeah, it looked like Dowd tried to get out of the way, went to the apron going into 1, but just washed back up onto the track right in front of our leaders here. Really could have been disastrous for the championship complexion here, but luckily everybody able to navigate pretty well around him.
White flag for stage 2. Travis took a look there, but Hayward was able to clear him off there. We'll see if Everett can back up the center. He backed it up a good bit there, a good portion. Here comes Curtis Preston with a big run too. He's going to try to get second here in the stage possibly.
Well, just setting up with really good track position for the final 80 laps of this race here, but just cannot quite get back to the throttle as well as his teammate. Looks like Travis Everett going to have the good run, virtue of the top lane there and the toe, but Hunter Hayward going to win stage 2.
Stage 2 in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Hunter Hayward, your stage winner. Stage 1 and stage 2 going to that 48 machine. As he's had a fantastic night, but that time we had Everett there in the second position, with Curtis Preston coming up third, GT fourth, and Ryan Bean fifth. As that's the end of the stage here. Man, this is I'm getting more nervous as this continues, Bryce.
It's getting spicy.
Oh, he said it, ladies and gentlemen. Put the spicy emote out there. It's called the pepper emote.
I try to find it. I can't find it.
You can't find the pepper?
Throw me some pepper.
I found it. Boom.
Oh, that's salt. That's not pepper. That's salt.
That might come later.
Yeah, it very well could. Oh, it's an actual pepper. I was looking for a pepper shaker.
Oh, he was looking for a pepper shaker, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's definitely getting spicy, ladies and gentlemen. That's for sure. As we'll hit pit road here to see what these drivers do. I'm sure it's going to be 4 tires and fuel. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in again here tonight. It's a big crowd we got, and a special finale race here. I'm sure we got a lot of drivers worried about this one.
Robert, that is hand sanitizer. Well, no surprise here. Looks like everybody putting on a set of tires. Absolutely the right call to make here. We'll have to see where they all shake out back off pit road. Hunter Hayward away. Ooh, big slide out of the box. Looks like he's going to lose that battle off.
Yep.
Travis Everett able to get out ahead of the 48.
Ooh. This is going to be interesting now. You know, Everett out front. He had the pole early in the race. Hayward in second there. Curtis Preston in third. It looks like Ruff. Kevin Ruff able to get up to I believe the fourth position is GT's.
GT has some damage.
He slid to the box. He slid to the box too.
I think he may have had some help. He's got some pretty significant damage on the rear of that car.
Oh, he got hit by Ryan Bean. Is Ryan Bean's car hurt? Oh man.
Oh wow, that is horrible for these two.
The two playoff guys involved in it right here on pit road. That is a huge deal here in this second stage, as we'll get ready to bring up our stage 2 winner of Hunter Hayward. We've gotten a La Land word about the championship guys. Let's bring down our stage winner. Here is Hunter Hayward.
Hey Hunter, Brandon in the booth again, bud. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, man, you are taking it to these championship 4 out here, showing, hey guys, you know what? I didn't make it in there, but if I had, you gotta wonder. Holding off, I mean, a huge charge from the 29 of Curtis Preston, and then just kind of walking away with it. You know, how are you feeling out there? How's the track changing?
You know, I'm always a big fan of Homestead. It's a shame that I wasn't able to make it in the championship 4, but great guys to race around. These 4 definitely deserve it, and it's a great battle to see from behind. The track's definitely changing a little bit more. I felt like I had a little bit less turn on the bottom, even though my tires were they had a better percentage after that run. Now, granted, we did have a shorter run because of those cautions, but I still feel like we're going to move up towards the wall in the middle grooves later in this race, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah.
Well, it's looked pretty stout from the 48 for the duration of this race here. You lost the battle off pit road, but you think you got enough to get back around the 59 and take charge once again?
You know, maybe not. I don't know. It's going to be a fun one to see from here. I'm just going to take care of my stuff, keep all 4 tires below me. You know, the 59, a really fast guy, probably a championship favorite in my opinion. So it's going to be fun to battle with him. I'm not going to try to mess with these guys as much as I can. You know, I want these guys to race it out, but yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a fun one to the finisher.
All right, bud. We'll let you get ready to restart this thing. Wish you the best of luck, and try to keep it clean, and we can see you at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, that was your stage 2 winner, Hunter Hayward in the 48 machine. So we're ready to go to green flag racing here. This is fun stuff here, ladies and gentlemen, in stage 3, final stage of the year, final 80 laps of the year. This is it's been a special time here. 8 months, 30 starts up to this point. It's all going to come down to this. Pace car's in. There it is. Everett off and away. He's going to get a start. That's going to let his teammate pull side by side with the 48 of Hunter Hayward. We'll see if he can fight back by in that 48 machine as they go into the corner. Hard racing there. Close battle. Rough there also in the 112. But the battle down the back straightaway, I think it's going to go to that outside groove. Oh, big wiggle from Preston.
Oof. And I tell you, Curtis Preston not very happy over the radio with that one, but I'm not sure what the issue was, but definitely showing his displeasure. And a quick update on GT and Ryan Bean, 2 of our other championship contenders. A little bit of damage left on the nose of the 25, but he has some left front splitter damage. It's just a little bit, but it's not what you want to have. The plus side for GT, it's damage on the rear of the car. It's not going to hurt his straight line speed near as much as it will for Ryan Bean, but obviously not what you want to have.
Yeah, not a good sign for him. I tell you what, hard racing there. looks like, from what I've seen, looks like the 48 got a little loose and the 29 had to react to it there. To not get an incident there. I mean, you know, it's one of them racing deals for sure. It's GT in the background, but he made a 3-wide pass on Bean and Stallings. Wow, what a move from the 14 machine there. As up front, the big run from Curtis Preston at 29. He's going to be pulling up here to the back bumper of the 48 soon, who's on the back bumper of the 59.
And they're battling super hard up here. And look at Kevin Ruff and riding around in 4th position. Where did he come from?
Yeah, right into the big picture here now. He's had a great race in that 112, so he's able to pull up here, as we'll see it here happening now. They were trying to find a way around the 59 machine. And Curtis Preston with the big run he was trying to make on the 48. He gets a little bit loose as we go off into 3.
Yeah, big wiggle. Looked like just a bit of dirty air, almost a push loose coming out of the corner there, especially with the transition with the banking. And you're not going to want to have that happen a lot, because the more that happens, the more your tire's going to heat up because of it, that right rear, and then the more often it's going to happen. It just kind of snowballs itself. Just going to need to back up a little bit and just kind of pull off a little bit of the tire, see if you can make another charge at it a little bit later on. It looks like the front 3, though, kind of broken away just a little bit from the rest of the field.
Yes, they have here as we go down into 3. Oh, big run here. The 48 get the one through the center. I think Everett's going to have to run off, though, as Everett timed that well there. It's always so interesting with this package here. If you run up on someone too fast, you got to lift at a certain point. They get back to the gas. The way the response time is with the throttle in these cars with the lower horsepower package, if you have any of that happen, you get checked up at all, you're going to lose speed. Oh, big run here from the 48 down the back straightaway. Here comes the 29 also, though. He's going to be pushing the 59. Here we go down into the corner. Who's going to fight for the win?
Well, Hunter Hayward, I think, with the preferred line here, got the clean air now, but there's a caution.
Oh, man, who's ahead here? Caution as they race for the lead. I think Everett was ahead. Yes, he was. What a battle there, though, it was going on for the lead. And I'll have to figure out exactly what happened back here. But it looks like Stallings in that 93 machine, and the 20, or I believe that is the 22 Harold Watkins there, will have an incident here, as that's going to bring our ORR Nissan Central caution, and big collision there into the back bumper, and the 93 goes around with the 22's help. And man, oh man, that's going to bring out the caution as we have the battle for the lead going on. That was a interesting timing of things right there.
Yeah, it looked like Harold Watkins said, well, I like what you got, and maybe liked it a little bit too much. Left rear to the 93 and around Stallings goes. Great job everybody else behind them, though, avoiding that car sliding down the racetrack, avoiding some pretty significant damage to their cars. Unfortunately, really going to hamper the speed now for the 93. Definitely needs to sit on pit road and get that thing fixed up.
Well, this is going to give these guys a chance to save some fuel here and definitely be able to make a one-stop very easy now for these guys. Not going to be no issue for them, as they'll be looking for one stop to the end. You know, this right here, this is going to get very, very interesting once we get down to the end of this thing.
I think you're right. I mean, just off the intensity of that last restart, just to start this 80-lap run to the end here, every restart we get that's closer to the end is going to just up that even more, and eventually they're going to have to hit 11 with it, and we're going to see some catastrophe.
You know, really thinking about it, you know, they went back green really on lap about 75. So, you know, really looking at that, looking at about 75 laps these guys needed to do to make it to the end of the race. You know, that is going to be, you know, somewhat tough, but I think this caution here is what's going to help them. That would have been, personally, in a window where I don't think people would have been able to do it, actually.
Well, I think it still might be pretty close. I mean, talking to Hunter, and he really wasn't saving much after or during stage 1, and he still had 0.5 after coming around for the cooldown lap for that caution and then getting back to his box. And that was only about another lap. I think people might be able to. I mean, if he could do it not saving, anybody that saves even just a little, I think they're going to be able to make it on the one stop. But the guys who don't have that in the back of their mind, they might be able to, but it's going to be pretty close.
Well, we'll have to see how that turns out there. Again, thank everybody for tuning in here tonight for the season finale. And we got Adam Buzzy out there. Let's go, Bean Bean. That's right. Ryan Bean out there. Got a little bit of damage on the nose. They're getting that thing worked on. Unfortunate contact on pit road between him and the 14. 2 playoff contenders. And I think Bean came back down. And we're hearing from David Edwards, and I'm pretty sure he's got pretty good information from the slide job boys. He says it should be a comfortable one-stopper from here. So should be comfortable for him. We'll have to see if that plays out that way. But, man, this could definitely get interesting, Brandon.
David, I need you to go tell them no. It's 2.
It needs to be close.
Absolutely 2. That's the rule. I need to see everybody use their sets of tires. Thank you, David.
It looks like the pace car lights will be going out this time as we're looking to take the green flag for tonight's finale here. Man, this has been a special one so far. Hard racing already so far. I mean, I'm telling you what, I don't think we've seen the end of this yet. This is going to be some dramatic ends, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. Adam Buzzio saying it's going to be dramatic, echoing your sentiments.
Oh, wow. He was reading my mind right there.
Yeah, seeing this now, 98 getting a really late run around for the lucky dog. I mean, he's going to be just in front of the field here as they take the green. This is going to be interesting.
Ooh, no. I believe he should be able to get a good little distance here. He's about half a track ahead, so he'll be all right. But, man, great thoughts from Adam there. As there it is, face cars in, green flags back out. As there goes Everett. He got a great start, but that actually let his teammate Curtis Preston get even a better start this time to get side by side with the door of the 48 there. I tell you what, definitely hard racing between them two all season long. Would not be surprised here. What a run, though, through the center there for the 48. I was surprised.
And just behind them, Bob Fitzpatrick moving up.
Oh, the wrecking. Potter and B-Singer. Spinning on the backstretch.
No caution yet. Still on track, but they are at a full stop here right up against the inside wall in the backstretch. Nolan Potter now getting it swung back around. Still no caution.
There comes Kevin Dow, but I think that still they're going to get it spun back around with nothing there. It was off the racetrack like he alluded to there, Brandon. That's not going to bring out a yellow. And look at this Hayward up front. He's putting the pressure on Everett. You know, the thing is, Everett, I think he wants to be able to stay in front of this 48, but he doesn't need to. If he lets the 48 go and holds off his teammates, he can do this. But, man, that's tough to do when you're following behind somebody. And a smoke cloud there from Chad Beasley going down to the 3 as he's going to pull that thing back down to 1. He's doing a good job killing the bugs out here for us, and make sure we not put too much bug spray on ourselves. Hunter Hayward, though, back to the lead. Everett, let's see what he can do here. He's in second now with Curtis Preston up to third and GT Irizarry fourth. The slide job racing trio again back together. GT just always knows how to rebound. That guy, you can never count him out. Whatever you do, it's just one of the races where now I'm starting to feel like he's the favorite, Brandon. I'm thinking you're right because this seems like a GT type of win.
And I mean, even looking at the damage on his race car, it's right at the center of the back bumper, but even the spoiler, it's not that messed up. I mean, there's a little bend in it, but it's relatively straight. I mean, I don't know exactly how precise the iRacing physics are, but if they are one-to-one with real life, that's not going to be much of a hindrance for the 14 in terms of speed.
Very, very true. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue at all for him, really. He's definitely shown the pace there is looking pretty good in that Mustang week. Mustang. As looks like Fitzpatrick in the 3. And he always comes out of nowhere too in the 3. I mean, he's been right there all night. He started 9th, he's been right around, 6th to 7th in that range. But man, right here up into the top 5 now, showing his pace. But Ryan Bean also making a resurgence. He's up to 9th already. with I think getting the rest of the damage done on that 25.
Yeah, and I just got to think. I mean, even back to when the contact happened on pit road, that it was gonna be bad for Ryan Bean. Just any type of nose damage here is not gonna be ideal, and especially that splitter damage. That it's just gonna hurt his speed. He's gonna have to hope that one, he can get back to the front and get the draft from whoever's leading, and hope that it's not one of the championship contenders he has to race against. In the tow, he's gonna be feeling pretty good, but with that fresh air, he's just gonna be off pace from the rest of these guys that have a clean nose.
And look at that, GT was able to get by Curtis Preston. My thing is, you're seeing a little bit of the 29 drop back to 59 also from the 48. Are they saving a little bit of fuel is my question. I mean, we heard it's comfortable. I think, we heard that this should be comfortable to the end here, but man, you never know. Sometimes you gotta save a little fuel when you got to. So are they doing that? I don't know. That's what I'm questioning now. Is Travis has almost closed the gap right back into Hunter Hayward. His GT dropped back a little bit from him. So maybe it's just a little bit ebb and flow between the tires here between these guys. But man, nonetheless, what a battle it is back and forth between these drivers up front.
Yeah, and again, the ebb and flow, and it could be just, GT blinking just a little bit there. Hold on, GT's internet, don't let it end like this.
No.
Yeah, that's definitely not the way you want to have your championship end. But, I mean, if you've got a chance to save just a little bit of fuel and not lose time or position doing it, why not? I mean, you could go out here and try to, make the pass on Hunter Hayward and really burn up your stuff. Probably use a little bit more fuel doing it, but go ahead right here and save, and maybe see while you're doing it. Maybe he's burned his stuff up. Maybe it'll come back around that you've taken care of your stuff and find just a little bit more pace. Plus, that extra bit of fuel, it's going to help the balance of the car. You're going to feel just a little bit better as the run goes on compared to guys that haven't quite saved, maybe even just a little bit more than you. It may not be noticeable, but it never hurts.
Right here, Hunter Hayward closed in the gap. 59 Everett, here he is. He says, "I'm back, young man. I'm ready to take my lead in my championship," as my teammates are hounding me. So it's getting down here where I think Everett knows he's got to go. GT's came up pretty quickly here. And Hunter Hayward, though, fighting them off. I mean, he's been really good tonight. But I tell you what, these other three guys are really the rest of the group of guys there from really about the 7th position on, and now being up to 8th, really 8th on, has just been on it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just been, the top 7 or 8 that have kind of just broken away from the field every run, just right on top of each other. And our championship 4 up to this point had been in that top 5, battling amongst each other. Ryan Bean, though, still hanging on to this front group. Looking at his lap times, just the same as Curtis Preston. I mean, last time by, identical lap times between the two, so he still has pace in the 25. Like I said, in the tow, I think he's still got a lot of speed. I just don't think he's going to be able to go out and lead this race.
Very true. That damage can really hinder you when you got clean air on that nose, and he's going to need some type of draft to help him for sure. Maybe even some type of caution to help get everything reset, because he had to push very hard to get back in this position. As Hayward
down the wall,
down.
Hayward.
Oh, big moment, GT. Oh, big moments there. Oh, and the wrecking Watkins goes around. Oh no, Dowd bringing out the most weird yellow.
I'll have to look at it and see if there was no significant contact with our championship 4 GT. Almost. Ryan Bean as well, almost collected in that. But looking at the cars, Zach, I've got to notice Curtis Preston has a little bit of right front damage. It's not much, but there's just a little separation between that right front body panel and the hood.
That could have been definitely something from earlier, but the 22 and the 98 there. Oh, very close. And that's just going to bring out the caution there, as Dow was gotten to the outside wall, kind of running by himself there, just bounced off of there. And Watkins, though, man, the 22, he's going to get the rough end of the stick there. And what a run Harold Watkins was having. I mean, qualified 6, was running really in top 7 the whole race. And now he's going to get caught up in an incident here. So we hit pit road. here on lap 98. You know, this is interesting right here. You know, how do they have 2 sets of tires left? Because I think so.
They do. They'll have one set after this stop. From I believe everybody up to this point has taken a set of tires every single pit stop, so they will have one set left. And I've got to do the math. I mean, how do they split this next 50 laps up? Because they can only go a max, we think, 36 laps. They're gonna have to make a pit stop, but do you make it on the short end of this run or the long end of this run?
That's always the tough part, my friend.
I think with one set of tires, you're kind of forced to have to go to the long end, yeah.
But if one of your championship contenders pit early, that's where it throws the whole different spiral down. Because if you don't get on pit road quick enough after they do, and they gap you too much, you're not going to run them back down. So you got to be thinking of that stuff. You got to be worrying about them guys. You can't, if you're Travis Everett, Curtis Preston, GT Irizarry, and Ryan Bean, these final 4 guys, they can't be concerned about Hunter Hayward, Kevin Ruff, and all these guys up here. They cannot concern themselves with them. If they concern themselves with them, they're going to be in a huge issue. And right now, even looking at it, Ryan Bean, Andrew Little, and Kevin Ruff are all going to stay out here, actually. So this is even going to throw more of a spiral into this. Oh man, I don't see how this plays out very well for Ryan Bean unless we start getting multiple yellows.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of banking on it. I feel, maybe he's thinking his speed is just hampered too much. He just can't find the pace that he had earlier on after the contact on pit road. He's just got to try something. Try to get an advantage with tires. Something out of the box here. If it doesn't work out, you are probably not going to win the championship anyway. And that's what I feel like he's feeling. But if it does, he's a genius. It's a genius call.
Yeah, it could be a genius call, that's for sure. We could go back and look at this one and be like, that's the call that won the championship. I mean, this is how it is in racing. But man, Bean going to start up front, Little's going to start in second, Ruff in third, and Hayward's first one on new tires with Everett, Preston, and Irizarry behind him for our top 7. I mean, if you're Hayward, are you looking to go to the outside on the first lap? I mean, this is where it gets kind of dangerous right here, and especially for our final 4 contenders. Bean's probably like, man, hopefully something happens here.
Yeah, he needs it. Oh, whoa, it looked like he was going to come down for a second. I thought he was going to pull that strategy again, but decided not to. And yeah, I think he needs another, he needs about 10-15 laps, just get significant amount of wear on these guys' tires before it'll really be beneficial to him. But there's got to be a point too. We've got to pay close attention, because if they get a caution here in the next 10 or 15 laps, I mean, it could be very close on fuel for everybody coming in to stop. And I feel like you'd have to be forced to, because if it's close, you got to imagine a lot of guys are going to try to stretch it.
Oh man, well, it's definitely opened up the doors for some different type of strategy to play out here. With less than 50 to go, though, we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing. I cannot even explain. 30 weeks to come here and end it all in a dramatic, wild race like this. Man, I'm on the edge of my seat. I hope all of you at home are rooting on your favorites at home as we get ready to bring them to green flag. Pace car's going to be looking to come in here, maybe for possibly the final time tonight. We'll see. I would highly doubt that with what we've seen so far. I think we're going to see maybe another yellow. We'll have to see, though, as the pace car is going to take the left-hand turn down. Bean, though, he was driving almost through the pace car. He said, get off the racetrack. I'm trying to go because I don't have the tires. Here is now. That's going to put Everett in the 48 of Hayward side by side. Where did they go? I think Hayward's going to get around the outside of Ruff here, but he gets a little bit loose, actually, a little bit of a slide. That's going to be 3 wide between those guys down the back straightaway.
Should be able to clear.
Oh, Burns.
Ruff.
Craig Burns is wrecking in the background, but he's off the track. That's not going to bring out a yellow. As, man, here comes the 48, here comes the 59. Everett loose. This is really loose on new tires. You got to be very, very careful, it seems.
Yeah, absolute precision on these cold new tires. Just not the grip these guys are used to. I mean, we saw Hunter just about wreck it. Everett get really loose there. But luckily, everybody made it clean. No risk of our championship 4 at the moment. No caution still, so Craig Burns able to get it back going. And Hunter Hayward now looking to contend for the lead yet again. Should make quick work of Ryan Bean on his older tires.
And oh, look at this. 3 wide, Little in the middle, Everett down low, Preston up top. Here comes Irizarry, the 14 possibly to push the 59. The side drafts pulled him backwards as Preston's now in the 3rd. He'll be coming up on the back of the 25 here in the center of the quarter. Man, oh man, it's popping off here in the final portion of this race.
I just want everybody, I want to point this out to everybody, that has to be the call of the season. 3 wide, Little in the middle.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's right. Not a rapper though. Okay, so Hunter Hayward out in front though. Ryan Bean starting to slip back now as you still got your final 4 contenders all right there together. Preston was able to get by Everett there in all of that melee there. So man, the teammates going out here. Here goes Preston again. He's utilizing that top side because remember that was very good early in the run for him. And we're only going to have about 25 lap stints here if these guys split it down the middle. But, you know, the question is, when do you pit here?
I think not maybe as soon as you can make it, but if every... Oh, no. I hear it. Oh, I hear it. Oh, I don't know what happened.
I think it was Catrona in 38. He's sliding around. I think that was contact between him and Fitzpatrick there off the corner. It was Fitzpatrick just... He got really loose, I think the 3 did, and slid up in front of the 38 there. To major incident.
What I was saying about the pit timing, I mean, you want to go as soon as you know you can make it, but you want to give yourself a bit of space for a potential green-white checkered. If you can stay out on a green-white checkered when other guys pit, you've got a really good chance of being able to hold them off. You definitely don't want to have to give up all this track position, especially if you were one of our championship contenders, to have to come down and pit for fuel.
Man, what a hard-fought battle this has been so far right now. Up front, still Hayward out front. Somewhat dominated this race with the amount of laps he's led so far. But he's got Curtis, Preston, Travis Everett, GT Irizarry directly behind him. These two going at it. I think Curtis has got that 59 all over the back bumper and looking in the mirror trying to figure out how he's going to hold him off, because that is what he needs to worry about. You know, he can sit there and worry about the 48 and getting around him, but at the end of the day, it's all about holding off those 2 cars right behind him.
Yeah, I mean, your teammates right... Ooh, big wiggle out of Curtis Preston there. Looks like Travis Everett was close enough that he had the lift, couldn't try to make the move to get to the inside to try to make that pass. But like you said, I mean, the big picture is he wins if he beats the guys directly behind him. He doesn't need to beat Hunter Hayward to win this championship. Don't get too caught up in going for the race win and forget that you are here racing for a championship. Travis Everett now making the pass on the 29, running the high side, might start deteriorating those tires, might start showing now for Curtis Preston.
And Trevor Massetti here in the 5th position, about 2.3 seconds back from our leader Hunter Hayward. Man, that battle for 2nd and 3rd got really spicy there for a minute as Preston now drops back to 3rd. You know, it's interesting. It seemed like he had a good bit of pace at some points, and then it goes away. So it's kind of the ebb and flow of tires here right now. Everett, though, on point to win the championship so far.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems like, you know, we notice the come and go of the tires where they are really good and then they get just a little bit too much temperature, and you know, guys will drop off in pace, and then through the drop off in pace the tires cool back down. It almost seems like that is happening at an accelerated rate here at Homestead, with just how quickly guys will fall off and then immediately find the speed again. And you got to look at the track temp, and it's only 73 degrees. It's a pretty cold track, and that's definitely going to help quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case there. And I'll tell you what, I think I thought I saw it. Never mind. I was about to say, I might have seen the bumper being used by the 14 on the 29 is, oh man, Everett is gotten there now. He's all over the back of the 48. Is he starting to gap his teammates too? This is looking bright for Everett here. He needs to really think about how he can put more time between him and that 29.
And looking at it, the thing that I'm seeing out of Everett that's a bit of a weakness is how soon he's coming off the bottom of the racetrack and washing up. I noticed when they were racing before, it seemed like Hayward was able to make up the time and then make the pass, just being able to keep it pinched down and on the exit of the corner, get the clean air on the nose, where Everett just doesn't seem to be able to keep the car pinched down nearly enough to be able to do that.
Riding on board here with Everett. You can see he's been looking at what he's been looking at most of the night. I'd say that 48 Hunter Hayward. And we keep seeing smoke down in turn one. I had my producer ask, what is up with all that smoke? I believe there's a car in the pits that has engine has expired, and that is the smoke cloud slowly exiting the racetrack in turn one.
So it's a racetrack, man. Someone's making hot dogs. I mean, they're burning them, but they're making them.
I like burning hot dogs. Hey, we definitely got some great fans out there in chat. Thank you all for tuning in as always, of course, as we are getting farther along here in the final portion of this race. You know, now we're getting into the point where we're going to start to question, when do these guys pit? Because at 120, that's going to be 30 to go. Really, right now, when they cross the line next time by, it'll be 35 to go. This time here is 36 to go right here. My thing is, man, you could technically make it if you stop this next time by. Do we see Ryan Bean throw the Hail Mary right here in the 9th position, 8 seconds back, and say, I'm pitting right as soon as I know I can make it?
Well, I mean, that would work out to be a hell of an undercut. And he does have the extra set that if they do get a caution, he can still come in and take those tires. The problem is that he's going to be a lap down for a good bit of time before he can race back and unlap himself. That is the worry in that strategy, but it's definitely plausible that is one that he could go with.
We'll have to see who elects to do it first. Is look, GT again looking to the inside of his teammate Curtis Preston. He's been looking multiple laps, trying to make that 29 make a misstep, but the 29 starting to close the gap back to the 59. Because remember, this is the battle for the championship. We talk about the race win and all, Hayward up ahead of him right here, but the real battle down to the end of this thing is that 59 and that 29, that 14, with the 25 also back there in 9th. So it's coming down here to the end, and I'm getting excited to see who's going to be able to pull this off here in the last portion of the race. And it's coming down between teammates. We're going to see some good, hard teammate racing.
Yeah, and just looking at it, Zach, I think out of the championship 4, the 3 slide job racing teammates up here, it seems like lap after lap, GT's had a little bit better pace than the other 2 teammates. And now to the inside of Curtis Preston, trying to make that pass, able to slide up now in front of the 29. Again, it's my pick, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. GT, that long run speed is definitely paying off for him.
It really is. It's starting to show, too. He's getting better and better as the night goes on. That's something I noticed with GT each and every race. He's a driver that may start off the race as a top 5 car, but he can end that thing as a race-winning car. And right now, he's showing why he could be the favorite in all of this. As he takes this 3rd position from his teammate Curtis Preston, now looks at Travis Everett next in his sights. This is going to be fun to watch coming down to the end here, as we're going to be coming, not this time, but next time by, to 40 to go, or 30 to go, sorry. And that's going to really start to open up that window for pit stops here. I would not be surprised if we see someone start hitting pit road soon. I think Ryan Bean, yeah, he's just come off pit road here. 25, first one to react. This 59, 14, and 29, they can't get sidetracked racing each other here. If they wait too long, Bean could get himself out there way too far.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a pretty good undercut. These guys have got to be thinking about coming down to pit now. The window is definitely open. Ryan Bean has already kicked it in. Are they going to follow him through? Every lap that they go by, I mean, 2 or 3 laps on tires is a pretty big gap. Oh, we got a spinner out of turn 1, but again, down to the inside wall. No caution here. Not sure who that is.
Gavin Ruff there in that 112. Looks like he'll get it back going. I think he was actually exiting pit road, yeah, and just caught the grass with that right rear, send him around. And that's going to bring out, or not bring out a yellow, but bring his caution is Here comes GT, the 14. What a drive from that man up here to the inside of his teammate and Travis Everett. Everett, though, going to be fighting hard for this because this is coming down right before pit stops. You cannot let the 14 get by you here. You have to fight tooth and nail, even if that means giving up as much time as possible to that 48. And Curtis Preston, he's got to pick. Does he go 3 wide or does he push one of them?
He looked like he's trying to push his teammate here, and I've got to think this is a good opportunity for GT. If he can stay side by side with Everett, make the decision late going into 3 and 4 that he's going to pit, that almost forces Everett to have to stay out another lap.
And the question is, how much of a difference is that going to make on tires? As Hayward up in front of him really backs the corner up as those two really sent it in there and closed the gap up on that 48. And again, the 48 giving the draft to that 59. That's really going to help his cause there as now GT slots back into third as Preston all over the back bumper of him. I mean, right now, this is a cat and mouse game. It's hard to pass, but if you try to make a pass in the wrong spot, you're going to be way too slow. Here comes GT looking to the outside of the 59, but he's going to cover it off.
GT, he's able to get back to the throttle a lot quicker than Everett, and you saw it out of turn 4. Now GT sails it in there and able to complete the pass over his teammate GT up to the lead in the championship 4. Now second place, yeah, with a damaged car to boot. I mean, that stallion is beaten, definitely not broken.
That thing's flying right now, man. He is all over the back of Hayward almost already. I don't know if Hayward's going to have anything to hold him off with.
We'll have to see this time by GT, a 10th quicker, a little over a 10th quicker than Hunter Hayward in the lead currently, but Curtis Preston not too far off. Curtis Preston last time by was quicker than Travis Everett.
And the big difference I'm noticing, the 14, if you can notice here, he drives it so much deeper than the 48. He gets right to the back bumper. 48 gasses it up in the center, pulls that gap in the center, but then it stabilizes on exit, and then the draft comes into fruition, and the 14 pulls right back to the 48. Here he's going to have a pretty decent run here as we're going to be coming by next time to 25 to go. GT takes a look here, 48 in front of him. Whew. Very close to the back bumper of that 48. I know GT, he leads the go, and he's thinking, I have got to go, man. You are in front of me in the championship. I need to build this gap.
And, I mean, looking at it, GT is doing exactly what I pointed out that Hunter Hayward was doing earlier on, racing with Everett, able to keep the car pinched down on the exit, get the clean air on the nose, help the turn on the exit, and now he's gotten to the inside. Curtis Preston, though, hitting pit road.
Yes, he is here side by side. The action here. I think Irizarry is going to have it here off of 2. Yes, he does. Clear to the lead. GT Irizarry. When does he come down pit road? That's going to be the key here. Does he hit pit road now? Does he hit pit road the next time? We'll have to wait and see. When do these 3 like to take it? Because, man, they could draft together and catch right back up to Preston. Or does Preston have enough to hold him off? They elect to stay out here with 25 to go. They keep going.
Oh, and this is going to cycle Curtis Preston to be a lap down now. He should have the lucky dog here. No, David Hall is going to have the lucky dog for the time being. If there is a caution right now, this will be very disastrous for Curtis Preston. He would get trapped a lap down and have to take the lucky dog and give up a significant amount of track position. Getting call now on the radio. Hunter Hayward saying he is pitting this time by. No word from GT or Travis Everett, but we've got Massetti, Fitzpatrick, and Baldwin on pit road. Looks like Everett gonna pit with the 48.
Yeah, with the 48 here, 50 mile an hour here down to pit road. GT staying out. I think GT, next time by, you're going to see this 14 hit pit road. It's got to be next time, man. Get into pit road, GT, please.
Yeah, I mean, the undercut on Preston is already going to be a significant amount, but Travis Everett and Hunter Hayward, if he doesn't pit this time, I mean, they're even going to pass him. GT is slowing now. He is coming to pit road.
And here he comes. No mistakes here from the 14 machine. Comes in at 50 mile an hour. We're going to see it's on now. Ryan Beam wasn't able to jump in front of Curtis Preston, so wasn't able to make the gap up there on Curtis Preston. Curtis Preston going to come out a good bit ahead of Hayward and Everett. So I expect him to be even farther ahead of, man, this is going to be crazy. Will we see a yellow is the other thing we're asking ourselves with 22 to go. These guys don't have no tires left. If we get a yellow, Brian Bean is smiling ear to ear right now. He wants it to go to a few more laps, about 5 to 6 more laps here. Then we need to get a yellow. That 25 will win this race if that happens.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's setting up very nicely for Ryan Bean. Granted, he's going to lose a lot of track position. He's got to have enough laps to make use of those tires. Ooh, it's Hunter Hayward now trying to make the pass on him, gets a little bit loose. And you just look ahead, Curtis Preston has set sail right now with that undercut.
Yeah, he really has, and he's jumped a lot of the traffic that these guys are having to race on older tires. Curtis Preston may have played it exactly right, pitting at 25 to go. These guys elected to go 2 longer laps, GT3 longer. The pace is going to be there in the tires, though. I can tell you that much, though. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out, but the pace is going to be there in the tires from a possibly run it down, and to see if they can do it.
Yeah, and they've got the help, too, of these cars that they're passing, the slower cars. On the straightaways, that's a draft that they're utilizing. They're going to be able to gain a lot more time. Curtis Preston does not have that. He's got clean track ahead of him here. We're not going to get a good indication of exactly the speed difference until Hunter Hayward is able to make the pass on Massetti, and we'll start to see that gap really start shrinking. But looking at the lap times, it's about 2/10 per lap between Curtis Preston and Hunter Hayward and Travis Everett.
Oh, man, this is going to be interesting to watch as we're forward. Massetti, he's got the group of new tires coming from behind. And right now we're hearing from our producer, fastest laps being turned from each of these drivers out here. That just shows you the wick has turned up. These drivers are pushing for full extent here to try to run that gap down. Right now, 3.3 seconds back from Trevor Massetti to Curtis Preston. I believe he could around the same lap. He's actually turning a little bit quicker time. So this right here is going to hurt Hayward and Everett even more. They're going to be stuck behind a car that has pretty decent tires.
Yeah, and I mean, they're only a 10th quicker right now than Curtis Preston, and they're going to need to be more than that.
What a call it would be if Curtis Preston makes the pit strategy call to get out there, get ahead of the group that he was racing. We'll have to see here. 3.5 seconds back for Hunter Hayward. He's not in the championship battle, so really he's just racing for a race win. Everett, there's the one. 4 seconds back from Preston with 18 to go. Man, that's a tall task to go run down the defending series champion like that.
And continuing to get held up by the 88. And looking at their lap times, Travis Everett is flying. He looked to be the quickest car on the track last time by. Was about 3/10, just over 3/10 quicker than Curtis last time. This time by, still 3/10 quicker for Travis Everett.
I'm surprised they haven't elected to try the outside line here on the set. You got to set the run up. You can't just run behind him in the corner. That's why he's holding them off so well. Here goes Hayward though, but Massetti's not going to let him do that. He wasn't there yet. You know, that's the thing. You got to be able to get the run. Here Massetti's going to slide a little bit, but he's a little bit loose. Hayward almost to the back bumper. Oh, it's Massetti. Man, I don't know if that was a block or just a little bit of loose there. He may be helping Curtis Preston a good bit out here.
Well, it got to the inside of the 88. Now Travis Everett going to follow suit, but they have closed the gap. Now 3.17 seconds to Curtis Preston. And last time by, 2/10 quicker for Hayward, a 10th quicker for Massetti even. Almost 3/10 for Travis Everett. I mean, they're going to catch him. It's just, do they have enough time? Do we get a caution that really shakes everything up, really just makes this gap completely meaningless right now?
Oh, man. You know, I tell you, if the caution comes out, Ryan Bean is going to be licking his chops. GT's going to be feeling pretty good, too, because it's going to bring him right back up. But with 15 to go, we used to always say it, the Freaky Fast trend is a yellow. And that's not what these drivers want to see. And I tell you, I believe we had it in our championship race last year at Phoenix. Did it play out that way this time? We'll have to see. Curtis Preston, though, right now trying to hang on to about a 3-second gap back to his teammate Everett. Because remember, Hayward there in second, not a contender in the championship, so he has no say in who's going to win the championship. It's going to come down to the 29 and the 59 here.
Well, I mean, the best interest of Travis Everett right now is to do everything he can to just push Hunter Hayward and help him catch Curtis Preston to try to have a shot to pass him for this championship here.
You know, man, just looking at it right now, 14 to go. The way the lap times look, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I don't think they catch him, man. Unless the fall off, unless Curtis Preston went out here and ran his fastest laps of the race, and he just really killed his tires. I mean, that's just very possible. Also, I mean, it's 2.6 seconds now with 13 to go. They're going to have to really get going, though, and especially GT back here. He's running about only a tenth faster, and he's got 3-lap fresher. I'm not sure what's going on there with his car. Maybe he needs the draft with that damage on the rear end.
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, GT's got the dirty air of a lot of guys that he's trying to pass here, but also I think he just favors the long run speed, and they continue to tick off times that are, you know, 2 to 3 tenths quicker than Curtis Preston up here. Gap now 2.2 seconds. It was 2.5 last time by. It's going to be close. I mean, this lap traffic that they're about to run into is going to help, but it's just how much is it going to slow down Curtis? Are they going to move out of his way, or are they going to, you know, throw some of that dirty air onto his nose and slow him down a little bit?
Well, it's Stephen Bolin, Nolan Potter, Tony Ludi, Dustin Stallings here. Who are those cars? We'll have to see if they're in position here to make a effect here on these guys. It's 2.1. Like David Edwards is saying on the chat, our champion from the ARC series, I think if you're Curtis Preston, you're sitting here managing this guy, man. Go ahead, close in on me. But when you get here, you ain't going to have nothing.
I mean, it's under 2 seconds now, and last time by, again, another 2 tenths for Hunter Hayward, a tenth for Travis Everett. So I think they're going to be able to catch him, and especially once they get within, you know, about that second gap, they're going to start getting the draft on him too, and that's going to help even more.
Very possible the draft's going to help there, but the biggest thing I'm looking at, only a tenth of a second quicker there that time was Hayward. And same with Everett there, and 2 seconds back, that's not going to do it. You're going to have to be 2 to 3 tenths a lap faster if you want to get up there. If you're Everett, you're going to have to be much, much quicker. I mean, it's not saying it's over, but Curtis Preston might have pulled the masterclass strategy to bring home the championship. I mean, right there, that was about 2 tenths right there, but 1.8 back with 9 to go. Hayward, you know, he's not fighting for the championship. If you're Curtis Preston, if Hayward catches me at the end there, and there's a gap between him and Everett, I'm waving the 48 by.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to start racing him. Again, you don't need to win the race. You just need to beat Travis Everett, GT, and Ryan Bean. That's all you need to do. But the lap traffic is now in play. Curtis Preston has caught this lap traffic. He's going to get a bit of a tow, which is going to help his lap time. But in the corners, they are running a bit higher, which is not going to hurt him too much.
Yeah, he's going to get the clean air still. And here's going to be Dustin Stallings in the 93, the first one. Oh! Major incident right in front of our leader. Curtis Preston, the 93 bounced off the wall right in front of him, and that's major damage. That is it for that 29, man. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this back.
That was huge. Oh, wow.
I don't know. The 93 just got right up in the wall right in front. Oh, man. 7 to go. Curtis Preston is going to have to do something big here to be able to get up here now. Man, that damage he's got, that's going to be hard to hold off. I don't know how he's going to do this. Travis Everett, though, he's not that far back.
Yeah, Everett is, I mean, he is within a second. That closed in the gap. Hunter Hayward now 2 tenths back. And we've got, I mean, it's not a lot of laps, but with that type of damage, especially this high speed of a track, it's going to be a tall task.
And here comes the 48 now with 6 to go.
Gets
Very
the nose
close
inside.
To the inside down the back straightaway. Looks like he's going to pull to the inside here. Down into 3. He's going to take the lead with 5 to go. Hayward up to the lead. Everett, though, he's the one looking to get up here. So is Irizarry. He's coming into the picture with 5 to go. Hayward up front. He's looking for the race win.
And last time by, that was 4 tenths slower for Curtis than Travis or Hunter Hayward. I mean, the draft for Hunter is helping a ton, but man.
And oh man, this has got me biting my fingernails. Oh, he slides up in front of 13. Aludi, that almost got close. Preston his heart has got to be racing here in the final moments of this race. 4 to go. Hayward out front still. Irizarry's closing in though, man. In that 14, he is really closing in here, and he's going to be to the back bumper. Everett, I think GT can do it, man.
GT's got the pace. Last time by, he was running 33s. Everybody else running 34s. He ran a 33.7. Curtis Preston a 34.2. That is a huge difference in speed here, and I think GT might have timed it. That contact absolutely helped him a ton. I think without that contact, GT definitely not going to be able to make up that time. That was a freebie in lap time. But look at the closing rate of the 14 to the 29 here.
3 to go only, and you know Curtis Preston's looking in his mirror saying, oh no, this is exactly what I didn't want to see. And man, yeah, without that contact, Curtis Preston was smooth sailing. That was his championship to lose. That contact there, that's going to come back. I think it's going to bite him here as GT's already to the back bumper. It's going to come down between these two here, and Everett's got to say, man, if they get into each other, what do I have for them? Oh, this is nerve-wracking. I've already bit my fingernails off.
And GT goes to the high side here, setting up for the run.
I think he might have a mega run here out of 2. We'll see here. Coming out of 2, yes, he does. He's going to be looking to get to the inside here. What a move from GT Irizarry. He's going to go to the point. He's going to look for a championship one final time. White flag in the air. Hunter Hayward in the lead right now. GT Irizarry up to second. He's done what he's needed to do. He's looking to win a championship. This is everything he's worked for. Man, oh man, this all went out the books here. What a dramatic finish. I just cannot explain to you what a crazy race this was. But down to 3 and 4 for the final time. Hunter Hayward, he's not in the books for a championship. He wants a race win. Here comes GT, though, out of turn 4. Hunter Hayward's going to be your Sheffield Graphics race winner, but GT is going to be your champion of 2021. The 14 puts himself in the championship contention, and he did it. He is your champion with a second place finish. He's the one who alluded to he didn't need to win the race. He just needed to beat the rest of them, and he did it. What a call. Man, what dramatic storylines as our defending champ is hit by a car lapping. And man, that is, I cannot believe the scenes here at the RSR Cup Series.
That, I don't have words. That was, I mean, everything got flipped on its head right there at the end. And I mean, again, just like the ARCA race, a mirror image of the ARCA Series race just before this one. A spoiler comes in, wins the race, champion finishes second.
Oh man, I tell you what, we seen it in the ARCA race, like you said. That's just amazing for GT. You know how much he wanted this in that Mustang week. Mustang damage, had to rebound back from it, and he did it. He had the pace, he had the strength, he waited the longest to pit. It ends up coming back to be in his favor, and man, GT Irizarry, he's going to be your champion as he's going to celebrate here on the front straightaway. We'll be back in a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, as we compile our top 3 finishers and our champion. As man, what a night it's been here to close out the RSR Cup Series. All right, we are back here, everybody, for our post-race interviews after a wild finish to the RSR Cup Series. Man, I'm out of breath. That was so wild down to the end. I did not expect some of those things to happen like that, and I was the one calling it was over for this man right here in the 29, saying that he was going to be in position to pull it off, but unfortunately, some contact with a lap car is going to end up ruining his championship position. Let's hear from the 29 now. Curtis Preston, that Jim Beam Chevrolet. You know he's got to be upset. Hey, Curtis, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, I feel for you there, buddy. Such a nerve-wracking race overall. I probably played the perfect strategy to pull that off. It looked like you're going to do it. Late contact there at the lap car, man. I'm gutted for you, man, because that was looking very much like it was yours to take there at the end. It was going to be tough for them guys to get to you there. I mean, just take us through that there at the end. That was hard racing there all night.
Yeah, I mean, we played the strategy good, got out in front, got clean air. Old Black Betty was sailing, and then I don't know. There's morons everywhere on the planet. I mean, the dude turned the wheel right into the wall, done it on purpose. I mean, it's a shame it comes down to that. I wouldn't mind finishing second, finishing third if I got outran. I mean, getting outran is one thing, but having somebody come in here who ain't raced in 7-8 weeks and do something like that, I'm a little bit perturbed right now. Perturbed the way the 48 raced us. Of course, he's raced us like that all season, so I didn't expect nothing but that from that moron. But that is what it is. It's racing, but yeah, I'm a little perturbed right now.
Yeah, man, definitely some hard racing out there tonight, man. Unfortunately, didn't come back to your favor there at the end, man. Coming back for next season, you're definitely going to be, I'm sure, charged up for that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to be on the lookout. I mean, that's what people do when they can't outrun you straight up. You know what I mean? So come beat us on speed. That's all I'm gonna say. All contenders, come on, bring it. Come outrun us. Can't do it on speed. You got to do stuff like that to get it done. It's sad. It's sad. It really is.
Yeah, man, I feel for you, buddy. I tell you what, it's unfortunate for yourself, man. I'm sorry that it did not end up in your favor right there. Never want to see it play out like that at all. And man, before we let you out of here, anybody want to send a shout out there for your season?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to GT for winning, man. Congrats to him. Congrats to Travis too. Everybody finishing up in the top 5. It was a good night for us. Big Cup still stays in the SJR stable. Really proud of that effort. And we'll come to them next season. Appreciate all the guys at SJR. Thanks to Ryan Azell, everybody that puts this on. It's a lot of fun. Sorry for the bad interview. I'm just agitated, but I appreciate you guys and what you do, and we'll go get them next season.
Hey, man, very understandable, buddy. It's a tough loss, man, and you'll be back at him next season, buddy. So congrats on a hard-fought battle again here tonight. Just coming up a little bit short due to that contact, man. Definitely we'll be interested to see you back next season, man.
Thanks, man. Y'all have a good night.
You too, buddy. All right, guys, that was Curtis Preston, your third place man. You can hear the frustrations there. I definitely can feel for the guy. It's a tough thing to be involved in right there at the end, and yeah, just not the way you want to see it play out for a championship. But now let's move on to our race winner, brought to you by Sheffield Graphics, Hunter Hayward in the 48 machine. Hey, Hunter, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, buddy, what a fantastic race for yourself there in the 48 machine. Able to get stage 1, stage 2, the race win. You just couldn't get the pole, so you don't get the Freaky Fast Grand Slam. But man, great racing there. Had no real effect there on that top top 4 battle, man. You did a heck of a job out there racing. Just kind of take us through those moments there, because man, you drove the wheels off it tonight there with the battle between those 3 SJR guys.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that I wasn't in the championship 4. I kind of played the strategy perfectly, and I'm really good at Homestead, and I unfortunately I wasn't able to make it in the championship 4, but that's all right. We really showed our strength today in that PlanBSales.com Chevy 48, like he always does in Homestead Miami. So it's great to see. I didn't expect to have the pace we did all day, especially with the 4 championship drivers who were practicing their tails off this whole week to prepare for Tuesday. But I really like this place. It really shows how much of a rhythm you can get into, and those last couple of laps, I don't know what to say. I'm still kind of speechless. I guess just lap traffic getting into the leader and unfortunately ending his championship. So that's heartbreaking to see. But yeah, it's sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes in racing, and it's unfortunate to see that. But I'm happy our car's in victory lane today, and it's a great way to end the season.
Yeah, man, definitely a great way to end the season for yourself. Not able to be in that championship 4, but able to bring home the race victory here. And also, coming down to the end, how do you make that pit call? We talked to, it looked like personally, if Curtis Preston didn't have that issue, it was looking like it was going to play out in his favor, where he was going to be able to hold on to that just enough time. When y'all were coming down to the end there, you got your last set of tires. How do you decide when to pit?
Yeah, so I knew that GTE was a little bit quicker than me in that final run before we did our final pit stop, and so I wanted to undercut him just slightly, maybe a lap or two more, so I would have a bigger gap between them since there was only around 15, 20 laps to go when that stage happened, or before the race was going to end, and so I kind of knew that I saw Curtis come down about 3-4 laps earlier. I knew he was going to have a big undercut, pretty much a second a lap, and so I decided to come in then. I knew my tire advantage would be much stronger than him, and I was getting him a couple tenths a lap. And that run in he had with the lap car did help me in my favor a little bit more. I don't know if I was able to catch him. If not, but I really don't know what to say. I'd have to look into it some more. But it's just really unfortunate. I don't like seeing a race end like that. But congratulations to GT. Heck of a driver all season long. Major respect for him. Racing them at Milwaukee after having surgery. So that was incredible. I mean, he is so much hardworking. Works so hard every single week, and it just has so much to just bring out on the racetrack. And fortunately enough for him, he's the champion. So congratulations to him.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, it's been a fantastic season, that 48 machine. You put on a show for us each and every week out there, man. So congrats on that. And before we'll let you get out of here, anybody else to shout to?
Yeah, just everybody at this league who does a great job. I enjoy racing with all of them. Ryan Ezel, who does a great job every single week, putting up the races and organizing them out. Just all my teammates out there, Kevin, Chad, Rusty, Yunez, all of them out there help me out, and other drivers, of course, that help me out every week as well, even if we're on other teams. Freaky Fast Broadcasting, y'all do a great job every single week. I did notice y'all said in the ARCA race 30 weeks for ARCA and Cup, so that's 60 broadcasts from the beginning of January. So holy cow, that is insane for you two, and Robert in the production chair as well. So awesome job, guys. Y'all did a great job from start to finish, and also for me to be able to get a chance to commentate on Thursdays and even other nights. So thankful for that. My family out there who's watching right now, I love all y'all. Quick shout out to my sponsor, PlanBSales.com. I run them on the hood, my car, every single week on Sundays and Tuesdays. So go check them out, PlanBSales.com. They sell diecast racing apparel from Formula One, IndyCar, dirt racing, NASCAR, pretty much any motorsport you can think of, hats, any type of paraphernalia, all that stuff. Go check them out. On checkout, use code HH48, HH as in Hunter Hayward 48. Checkout for free shipping on orders $20 and over. So go check them out, and that would help us both out a lot.
Well, Hunter, congrats on the win here tonight, buddy. And we'll catch you next time. And you have a great night.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. That was Hunter Hayward from Zab Motorsports getting the race win to end out the season. But this is the man who's going to take home the championship. It's the 14 of GT Irizarry. Man, oh man, what a championship it was. Battle down to the end. Let's hear from the 14 now, as after 30 weeks, he's your champion. Hey, GT, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
What did you think about that?
Well, I tell you what, man, the first thing I brought up, you were the only guy I've heard from all the championship 8, I guess we could say, for the ARCA Series 2, to say, I ain't got to win tonight. I just got to beat these guys. And you did that, man. I mean, some fireworks up front. Unfortunate for your teammate with the contact with the lap car. We'd never want to see that, of course, for a championship battle. But, man, you took full advantage of it, had the fresher tires, got by your teammate Travis, and then proceeded there in the final 3 laps to go out there and win the championship, man. I mean, that has got to be so thrilling of a finish for you, just like watching it all unfold and like, oh man, I can't explain it. Go ahead and do it for us.
Man, the only thing I can tell you is when probably the best comment I heard all race, other than the comments that Curtis was saying on TeamSpeak after Stallings did what he did, but was Travis. I mean, I got a pass by, and he was like, "Where the f did he come from?" And I just boom right on by, and I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I mean, then I was like, "All right, Curtis is next, and he's damaged." I mean, but man, guys, I can't say it enough about how much we practice. I mean, it's unreal how many laps we put in practice in this stuff. And you know what? This race goes out to damn Michael Sheffield because I was horrible at this place. I was one of these other guys that was like lightning fast for the last, first 10, 15 laps, and then be like, why am I almost going a lap down? And he taught me the line, and this was a long time ago. I use it in the trucks. I use it here, and I mean, it just works. You just got to be patient, stick it to the bottom, and just be there. I ran it too hard the first run, and I was able to maintain obviously. And then we entered pit road, and Bean got into the back of us, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me, man!" But nothing against him. I know he didn't mean to do it. I mean, he doesn't want to hurt his car either, and obviously he probably got the worst end of it on the front. Second run, and did better with it, and then after that, it was just like, all right, just commit to it, and it worked, man. Hey, I think I was one of the only ones that actually went up there and passed Hunter, wasn't I?
Yeah, I actually think you were the only person to actually pass him on the long run. I mean, he seemed to hold the lead for most of the race there, right in front of everybody, but nobody was able to really get there. I mean, you were definitely, I mean, we seen it, we watched it. I mean, Brandon, he picked you, so I got to give him credit. He said, watch the 14, and you just slowly, as the race went on, it got better and better for you, and then you take the lead there going to that late pit stop. I mean, take us through that. I mean, you got your teammate Curtis Preston, he comes off probably perfectly times it actually and gets the perfect undercut where he jumps all the traffic, also has clean track. I mean, take us through that situation because you get the lead there and now you're kind of in the position to kind of take it farther. So you took it, I believe, 3 or 4 laps longer than Curtis. So, kind of take us through that situation of when to pit because that's a tough situation with it being your last set of tires.
Honestly, I was thinking to myself, I did not want it to come down to green flag stops. My teammates know that's my thorn, man. I just cannot do green flag stops. Good. I'm nowhere near as fast as they are. I'm too conservative trying to get on there. I guess, you just overthink it. So I really didn't want that. But Curtis is the one on the team that will always pit first. And probably 80% of the time it works out for him, so I'm sitting here thinking, man, I don't know if I want a yellow to come out or not. But after I got behind him, I was like, man, my only chance is a yellow. But I just, almost speechless, man. I just committed to my line and just stayed with it. And I was like, whatever, it is what it is. We'll be congratulating him again, but damn, here we are, man. I mean, I'm shocked. I really am. I really thought it should have been his race. There's no doubt about it. He beat us tonight. He beat everybody tonight, but then he got beat up by a lap car. So that's part of racing. It is what it is, man.
our producer's asking what you're going to do with 2 butt kickers now, GT.
I'm actually being sounds like Curtis won one tonight. So I told the guys, team, I said, look, man, between Travis Curtis, since we kind of like, we practice so much and work so hard at it, I said, being that I've already got one, I said, if that's a huge if I win, the championship, then I was going to give one of them to the butt kicker because I don't need it, So now that Curtis won it, so it looks like Travis are going ahead and get his. So all 3 of us will have one, and I'm sure he'll appreciate it, and especially once he hooks it up, he'll realize how badass it is, dude. I'm telling you, it's badass.
It definitely is. Make sure you head on over to buttkicker.com there. So yeah, man. I tell you what, GT, it's been a season for yourself. Look, no wins in the playoffs, man. That don't matter though. You are still the champion. You're gonna come out here with the big trophy, man. I mean, you got the All-Star win too. So that's another big thing to go along with that. You got the cool die cast from earlier this season. It's been a season for you, man. I tell you what, congratulations on the championship. Now, can we go back to back?
Oh man, it's tough, man. I mean, you know what? You're saying, we didn't win anything in the playoffs, and if you rewind, you know, just before the playoffs started, and you're interviewing me when I won at Pocono. You were like, "Well, man, how do you feel about being locked in?" And I says, "Well, that's great, but my goal is not to really make it into obviously make it the playoffs, but our focus was we got to be the top four." Um, and so, we did everything that we could in that last round. By 2 races, we finished second, and then both my teammates locked themselves in. So no pressure for me. Both my teammates are locked in for the final four. So we go to Dover, and we didn't get to talk to you guys at Dover, but man, Dover wasn't nice to us.
No.
And it wasn't of our doing. Nothing wrong doing. It's just racing, and that's just Dover. It'll chew up some carnage. But well, the bad thing that really sucked, guys, about Dover was when I got wrecked. I got hit. I got body damage, and I let the car coast backwards because I saw him still wrecking because I was coasting backwards. I'm like, well, I'm just going to try and coast out of this, and it said I had mandatory repairs. And all y'all race, you know what it is. When you get that, you're done. You're done. I mean, it's like, God, man. So I went in, I had 8 minutes required. I had 1 minute and 50 seconds optional. And I was like, I'm just going to go on ahead and just, fix it, whatever. I mean, but I was just as fast as the cars once I came out pretty much to fight for, a top 13 or something. And that was like, how can I have that much damage, but yet be able to keep up this good? And I really thought our chances were done then. I really did, but Ryan shocked me with that one too, and here I am shocked again.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, it's definitely been a season for the books. It's been so fun up here. 30 weeks of racing here, man. We've been doing this thing since January. It's August now, 8 months. It's amazing to see. And now you're the champion. Before we let you get out here and go celebrate, because I know it's going to be one hell of a celebration. Man, who helps make it happen on that 14 there, man?
Well, we all said we were going to take a shot regardless as in the team. So now, Trevor's going to be joining with us next season. So he's going to jump in on the shot. We're going to give him, he can take a shot of milk. He's not quite there yet, but, I can't thank, Mustang Week. I mean, we haven't said anything about it. And, to actually not only get them a race win, an all-star win, but to grab the championship in the RSR Cup Series. I mean, this is a stout competition. A lot of these people just look at it as, oh, you're just sitting down in a chair doing this. This is not easy. And they understand that, and we've got a little following and stuff of that. And I just think it's super cool. The event's coming up here in about 3 weeks. I, for one, my car's in the garage up on jack stands, getting prepped with getting a new water pump put in it. But it's September 6th to September 12th. Mustang or Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Nothing but Mustangs out there, and just a good time. And it is very family friendly. But certainly thank them. Got to thank you boys up in the booth. You guys have done a phenomenal job. All season. I can't say enough on how fun it is to actually go and watch the broadcast after, especially if you're, battling up there and they're talking about your name. You guys do a great job. I mean, to know what you know each week and follow along and even bring up stuff from last season, you can't ask for anything better than that. So definitely thank you guys for coming on board. Ryan Ezel for everything he's done. I mean, he's a cool dude, man. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, dang, if I lived in where he would, I'd probably want to go work for him. He just seems like he's that type of guy. He does a lot for us and keeps the ship going. But it wouldn't be easy for him to do it alone. He's got Michael Sheffield and a bunch of the other admins that help, keep things afloat and keep going as well. Definitely got to thank my teammates. Without being on the SJR team, I don't think we'd be talking to you right now, because they've taught me so much. I think I've taught them a few things, but they've taught me so much, and I can't thank them enough. And ButtKicker, there you go. I think I'm about out, man. I'm about out of words here.
Hey, man, well, that's all that matters, man. You got it done. You're the champion, GT. Go ahead and celebrate that thing, man, and you have a fantastic night. We'll catch you next time, though, buddy. Thank you for everything.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you too, buddy. All right, guys, that was your champion here at the RSR Cup Series. What a night it has been. Curtis Preston, they're going to be second in points. I believe Travis Everett's going to bring it home in third in points. Ryan Bean fourth. Man, what a night it was as we bring up our race results here. As Hunter Haywood's able to bring your Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight. Second's going to go to GT Irizarry. Third is going to be Curtis Preston. Fourth is going to go to Travis Everett. Fifth's going to go to Trevor Massetti. Sixth's going to be Bob Fitzpatrick. Seventh's going to be Rusty Modesty. Eighth's going to be James Catrone. Ninth's going to be Ryan Bean. 10th's going to go to Andrew Little. 11th, Kevin Zabladil. 12th's going to go to Stephen Baldwin. 13th's going to be Tony Ludy. 14th, Kevin Ruff. 15th's going to go to Nolan Potter. 16th, David Hall. 17th, Dustin Stallings. 18th, Craig Burns. 19th's going to go to Kevin Dowd. 20th's going to go to Harold Watkins. 21st, Chad Biesinger. 22nd, Anthony Yunez. 23rd, Ryan Ezel. 24th, Nathan Campbell. 25th, Zach Schrenthal. And rounding airfield in the 26th position is Brock Potter. As that's your race results for the season finale here at the RSR Cup Series. 30 weeks. Man, it's been so much fun up here in the booth. With having me and Brandon and everybody up in here. It's been so much of a fun time here. 60 broadcasts. I can't believe that. Looking back at it between the ARCA and the Cup Series on these Tuesdays, it's been a fantastic time. And Brandon, I got to thank you too, buddy, for being up here in the booth for me all these times, man. It's been a pleasure to call the action with you. And I know this might be one of your last times for a while in the booth. So got to thank you for everything you've done up here in the booth with me. It's been a pleasure to commentate with you, buddy.
Well, you're gonna make me blush, Zach. Yeah, for anybody that didn't know, maybe a permanent retirement from broadcasting after tonight's race for me. Could be back, but no immediate plans to. But it's been a blast for the whole season. I mean, 60 broadcasts between the RSR Cup Series and the Arc Evolution Series. It's been a lot of racing, a lot of personalities to get to hang out with and get to know and just see them race and all the action on the track, all the storylines and drama and laughs along the way. It's been a lot of fun, and congrats to GT, man. It struggled for a lot of the season. We questioned when he was going to get that win, and once he finally did, it was just kind of off to the races. And he comes out of this season as a champion. Can't ask for anything more, and definitely deserved it. I think he was my pick for the race tonight, and I think he had to be a lot of people's picks as well. Obviously, the contact with Curtis Preston, it's not ideal. I mean, it's part of racing, unfortunately, that it happens. They're just, you don't, the race isn't over until it's over. And that's a prime example of it right there. Be it somebody doing something intentional, which, I mean, you never want to see. But, I mean, that's just kind of part of it. You're all out there racing, and that's the difference between racing and something like football, man. You're out there racing everybody else, even though they're not really in contention for what you're racing for. But a great season again, and can't thank these guys enough for letting us come on. It's been a great journey.
Yeah, it really has, Brandon. Man, I tell you what, just like you said, the many personalities we learned, the races we've covered, everything's been a fantastic season. So thank you to Ryan Ezel, Michael Sheffield, and the rest of the drivers out here for putting on a show week in and week out here that we can commentate up here in the booth. It's always been a pleasure. And make sure if you haven't yet, I know a good bit of people still tuning in. Let's get that thumbs up button above 3. GT just won a championship. Everybody show him a thumbs up of our appreciation there for that championship. And if you're not, also hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button to be able to be notified when we go live each and every time here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But man, 30 weeks. It's been a pleasure here. Let's send it up to Robert Moyer Jr. to close out our season here at the RSR Cup Series.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Where do I go with this? Congratulations to GT. What a way to win a championship. Like Brandon said, circumstances happen out there. He was at the right place at the right time, and he brings home the championship here. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to the top 4 drivers that made it in there, the rest of them guys. It was one heck of a battle all night. I also want to give a shout out to all the Evolution Racing League's family and friends and drivers that come out and tune in here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting to listen to our nonsense, talk away about racing and things like that. We do much appreciate that support. As for you, Ryan, if you're still listening, thank you for letting Freaky Fast be a part of this league for a year and a half now. We do much appreciate it. We want to give a shout out to his prime sponsor, ORR Nissan Central, Michael Sheffield Graphics, ButtKicker. We got a lot of people out there, Baconi Setup Shops. So we appreciate all them guys that are with Freaky Fast and with Evolution Racing League. But like you said, Zach, it's a 30 weeks, total 60 broadcasts. We did this from January till August. It's been a very, very long season. So it's been great. Now, just to let everybody know that's what's going on here at Freaky Fast. If you go back and watch this, or you're listening to it live right now, we will be back on Tuesday nights, but not until 2022. We are taking off the rest of from August to opening season next year in the 2022 season. So we're going to be off for on Tuesday nights, but that don't mean you can't catch us on any other night. We got Wednesday nights, we got Thursday nights, we also got Saturday nights, we also got Sunday nights, and we also, starting in September, we got Monday nights. So you can always come out and join the races with them other leagues, or tune in at Freaky Fast on YouTube. We would much appreciate it. But with that being said, hopefully everybody, we catch you in the next stream. Happy holidays. Be safe. We'll catch you next year. But until then, you know where to hit us up at. God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.